I don't know. Oh boy,
All
this pen's kind
right,
of
we are live
dripping.
and we are knocking. Wow, nobody is online.
You're knocking at me?
I'm knocking at you.
What's up, Bubba Hotep?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I want to say about this movie, and I want to talk so much about Spider-Man that I'm just like, this is gonna be tough.
You want to talk about Spider-Man? Why do you want to talk about
I
Spider-Man?
just got out of the theater like a little while ago. I just saw the brand new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah?
I know you're over superhero films. I don't care. It's amazing. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Is it? So some people have been heckling me saying it's the Hands movie featuring Spider-Man. Is that the case?
That's just Skinny Matthew, and he's just that's a weird take. And if you watch the movie, they're
in the movie, but it's not that. Okay,
it's so incredibly not that. Wonderful D. I got home like an hour ago, turned my computer on, and was recording my review for it, and like a little clappy hand just like starts flying behind my background. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm not live. Wonderful D is just sitting in my chat an hour before I go live, just hanging out with himself. I'm just like, the fuck? All right. So I go to Twitter and just like, or sorry, Twitch. I'm like, D, are you there? He's like, yep. We're like, all right. So we just start talking behind the scenes. Why not? Just talk about how cool the Nerf 1000 was in the movie. I mean, they're super proud of that gun. It is on all of the promotional material. Wait an hour, my guy. So we should have, I mean, there's not like a ton of people here at the moment, but like, I'm curious. I was talking to my buddy who I saw the movie with, and he was like, you should just say that you're having spoilers and talk about whatever you want. And then the people who don't want to have the spoilers will leave, and the people who do want to have the spoilers will stay. And I'm like, well, maybe. So I don't know if we should put like a poll out and be like, who wants to hear us talk about it like wide open, and who wants us to just only say non-spoilery things? Because I have a lot of thoughts about that film, and very few of them I can say without spoiling parts of it. Lumino is live. That's all you need. Fair enough. You good, buddy? You're awfully quiet.
Just doing some math here.
Oh, okay. It's a fair point. I should probably have all my Canva and everything open.
Really? Really? I got to recalculate. That seems awfully high.
27? That's way too high. I don't know. We're going to have to tone this down a little.
I think I made a miscalculation there or something, because that came out way higher than...
Where? Oh, right. It's a different sheet. Where? There we go.
Okay, that's better. All right. I was like, what? There's no way this is as good as Terminator.
Whoa. That is accurate. It is definitely not as good as Terminator.
Yeah. Possibly any of the Terminators.
But we'll see. 3 through 7 yet to go.
We'll get there.
Bubba Hotep, if by the end of this you want to jump into Luminous or into Restream with us, you've got the link. Come on for like 5 minutes and just kind of say your piece. A, why you picked this film, and B, your thoughts on it, and you know, anything that we're way too down on. But yeah, that's up to you if you want to or not. And again, for anybody who doesn't know, Bubba Hotep and I have a brand new show going on after this one called Backseat Cinema, where we just sit around and talk. It's way less scripted than this. Not this is scripted, but at least we're trying to record a podcast here, whereas that one...
I love that title, by the way, Backseat Cinema. I think that's fantastic. I'm jealous.
Thank you. I mean, you're on a podcast with me. Just promote this one. I mean, our rating's amazing, but Backseat Cinema's okay. No.
What's funny is that like I'm always promoting our rating, or even doing like your out of the theater movie reviews, and then Bubba Hotep's in there and he's just like, "What am I, chopped liver?" Like he'll be in chat, just be like, "You're gonna throw a pitch my way."
At the risk of sounding like a dick, you asked me about back rooms, and I told you my thoughts on it, and you're like, "Oh, okay." And then like when you're talking about having watched it, you're like, "Well, I talked to Bubba Hotep, and he did a review on it, and that really changed my mind." I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, I can't win here. I can't win, man. I can't wait.
I'm kidding. It was just one of those funny, like,
Well,
huh,
Bubba
all right.
gave me a
He
pretty
did a
good
full
description
review on
of
it. I just
Yeah.
told you like a 2-second thing.
Well, he messaged me with a direct question about, can I watch this with my kids? Is that going to be okay? And he explained the highs and lows and all that. So, so that helped me out too. And then it was kind of funny because like Carter couldn't make it through the movie. He got too scared. And like I told Bubba about that, and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to push this on your kids." I'm like, "No, you nailed it. You gave exactly what I do." So,
I agree, D, but that's why I was going to leave it up to the audience because, like, if you guys want or like enough of you have seen it, then like sure. But if you guys are like, no thanks, then I'm fine not going into spoiler territory too. And there's also a certain amount of like, even as I was recording, because I just did my spoiler-free review, where I'm just like, wait, is that like if I say something doesn't happen, is that still a spoiler? I mean, it kind of is, right?
Kind of is, yeah. Yeah, it kind of is.
So it made it really tough. You're just like, ooh, like, all right. I don't think I said anything in my spoiler review that would spoil anything, but also depends on how spoiler free you want to be. And I feel like if you want to be 1000% spoiler free, you're not going to watch a review either way. You're just going to go
I try to go in completely blind. I do want to see the Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
I just don't want to go see it in theaters. I'm just not so eager. You know, my time's pretty strict, so I'd rather just wait and see it in the comfort of my own home.
Which is completely valid.
Also, probably cheaper for me to like pay Prime or something to watch it, or wait for it to be on Disney or something. Oh God, if it comes out on Disney, I'm gonna have to upgrade to the commercial-free version. I can't do these commercials anymore. It's too much. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take my glasses off.
Now, the one thing I was not thinking about, we did this last time, but like if we go here, like that looks awful. Like
Can you change the orientation of the windows to one on top of the other?
I couldn't. So there's a thing on Restream.
Because you can make them round windows. Why can't you change their location?
Like I could do that and just not have the background at all. It's just gonna be a conversation with the
That's better. Honestly, that's better.
It kind of is. You're a little off center. I don't know if you can adjust your chair or something. That's worse.
Go like that. There. That's it.
Like that's not bad. It's going to drive me a little bit insane that I'm like a solid 6 inches taller than you, but like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There we go.
There we go.
Just put the chair up there.
All right, let's do this. You good to go? I feel like
I'm done. I got my score sheet here. I'm ready to rock.
I feel like for the first time in a very long time, this is going to be like a 7-minute review. It's going to be super like.
With only the two of us to go, I did no background research on this movie whatsoever. I could not bring myself to dive deep on it or anything. So
I looked into IMDb a little bit, which is what I normally do, and I know that's what Will does too, because we usually come with the exact same facts. But even then, like the facts on this one were pretty limited.
Hold on a second. I got something I can do here.
Sure. Aren't you 6 inches tall in real life? It's very possible that I am, but it still looks bad on camera. Finally,
can you give me 5 interesting facts about? Oops, hold on. That's not it. That's not it.
Love the comment you sent my way down. Yeah. Oh my God, it was distracting. It was.
Can you give me 5 interesting facts about the movie No Escape?
1994. There's a couple of No Escapes. Why are your windows so big? Because if they're not this big, without Will here, it looks awkward. Like it's cutting off both the R rating and the No Escape poster. Like it just doesn't look right. And like last time, I think I did a screen share of like a blank image of Will or a still image of Will, which was like, okay. But like I think it'll just be better to do this.
Oh, I did do some research. I just forgot about it because just like this movie, the research was forgettable.
You're rude.
I forgot. Oh man, there's some good stuff in here. Okay. Thanks for that, Windstorm. The setup on that was off the cuff for sure. How tall is Dan Bubba Hotep? Is he 6'2"? I bet he's like 6'2" or 6'4" or something.
6'5".
Ooh, wow. Yeah, he's 4 inches taller than me.
Yes, Charlie, we all see you waving. Goodbye. I love you.
Oh, my youngest comes in, no shirt, and just does like a belly dance behind me all the time. That's like his favorite thing to do. And I'm like, Chase, get out of here. This is Papa's time.
I don't like, because this 1 hour a week is the only time where I don't have a door on my recording room, but like there's a gate at the top of the stairs where I'll close the gate so like Milo can't come and distract me.
Right.
And, like, the kids kind of know to go away.
Yeah.
If it's a Saturday morning, I don't care. Come bug me all you want. Like half the time, like my child showing
yeah,
up
if I'm
is the
just
most
streaming
interesting thing
games,
I've done all day.
no problem. But this, I'm like, hey, there's other people relying on me to be a professional mostly, so I gotta try.
Exactly. Like I think there was one time where before I started doing that, where I'm sitting here trying to have an honest conversation with you. Let's go out for half a second. And Milo is like right here beside me, just like nudging my arm, constantly trying to get my attention. I'm like, so I think in Jurassic Park that the best acting was by Sam Neill, who sadly passed away. And I'm just like, okay, no, this has got to stop. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go deal with this. It's hard having a 100-pound bully in your face for an entire show. I'm saying you put your cameras on top.
We haven't figured out how though, Windstorm. We're pretty sure we can. We just don't know how.
On top of what?
One on top of the other, I think is what he's trying to say. But
so there's a customize option here, and I don't know if you can see this. Like the screens just went green, but I think all I can really do is like make them smaller. I can make them rounded, but that's worse. And like despite like
that's really weird that you can't position them.
Right,
I think you can do a custom position, but it's like something you do off screen beforehand. Like it's a big pain in the ass.
What's up, Charlie?
Where's Mom?
I have no idea. I was home alone, and then you guys all came here. I assume she came with you.
No.
Did you guys get dropped off? I'm sorry, I have to deal with this. 1 second.
He's like, hold on. Who's watching the kids? Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, my wife is now working full time.
Sorry, I legitimately have to go deal with this. I will be right back.
All right, I'll hold it down.
All
so my wife is now working 40 hours a week, and so I'm trying to be Mr. Mom, run my own business, work at the hardware store, make content, and it's getting kind of tough. And she has to drive an hour and a half to work every morning, an hour and a half work back. And so her whole day is just done 5 days a week. I get her on Saturday and Sunday, and that's about it. The rest of the time, it's getting tough. And now school's starting up. Today we had Meet the Teacher Day for both kids. And of course, the school system, they schedule all grade levels at the same time on the same day because for some reason they don't believe that a parent would have more than one kid or something. I don't know what that's all about, but that sucked. So that's why we're late getting started today. Mr. Mom is a good song. I don't know if I've heard that or not. Yeah, so, but I'm working on it. And of course, now I'm adding another piece of content to my repertoire, a more serious piece of content, which I will start recording next week. I start Mondays, and I don't know what I'm going to do this Monday. I kind of am thinking that I'm just going to have some people come on the show, and I'm going to interview them and kind of just warm up, and it just be the first episode, get a feel for things. I've been working on the structure of it a lot, and I kind of want to feel how it's going to play out. So I think I'll just try out this structure with some randos, interview them, kind of get a feel for it. It'll be technically the first episode. And then I have some really good interviews that I'm going to be doing off air in private. And I will edit those recordings and add them into the video, doing a pre-show live and then playing the edited interview and then packaging the whole thing for YouTube after that. It's a country song? Oh, okay. It's a country song as well. I don't know if I've ever heard it before. I'd play it, but then I'd get a copyright strike, and I've got enough of those already. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing on Monday. So you guys will see me streaming. It'll be kind of a shit show, and I'm not going to tell you who the guest is going to be. You may or may not know them. I may or may not have picked them out yet. So I've got a couple people in mind. I don't know who I'm going to go with. But I'm going to try something out and just kind of get my feet wet on this whole men's podcast show that I'm going to be doing. What else have I been up to? Oh, today's Thursday. I mowed lawns this morning. One of the people that I help out is in the hospital, and I've been taking care of his cat and mowing his lawn and helping him out. He's an old guy. And I lost him. He writes down all his phone numbers on a piece of paper, and the doctors threw the paper away on accident. And so he couldn't call anybody, and they changed hospitals. And I'm not family, so I wasn't privy to certain information. And I basically had to call around all the hospitals asking if they had this guy. And I finally found him and went and saw him today. And he's in good spirits, but he has cancer in his lymph nodes and among other things. And I'm not certain he's going to make it back out of the hospital. But he thinks he is, but I think he's in denial, so it's kind of sad. So hung out with him for a bit, called my dad, talked to him, and that was it. Did some grocery shopping. They had $1 car wash at the brand new car wash down the road from me, and I looked at it and went, nope, I don't have time for that line, because there were like 30 cars waiting to get washed, and I didn't have time for it. So, and then went and did the school thing. No, I lost him. Like, I did not know where he went. No, he's not dead. At least not yet. Yeah, kind of a sad situation. He's an elderly gentleman, about 74, and he's up until about 2 months ago, he used to mow his own lawn, like a push mower on a half-acre lot, and he did it himself all the time. That was like his exercise and his pride. And now he can't hardly walk across the room anymore, and he's deteriorating fast. And he's got some family, but they don't really come and see him, and he doesn't really have anybody else. Some church members bring him some food once in a while, but really it's just kind of me checking in on him from time to time. And now he's hospitalized, so it's hard for me to make time to go see him. I feel bad about it, but I do have to take care of my family too. So I'm curious. So Twitch has this new thing, 1080p horizontal and a vertical. And I'm kind of curious what those buttons do. I have an idea, but I'm like, I want to know how they work, because I want to start recording. I'd like to record both regular full-length video format and vertical format for shorts, because my new content is going to be coming out twice a month, every other week. And I'm going to be putting out 20 to 40 clips from each video, which is crazy. But I'm getting back into it full force. It means I gotta gear up. I gotta build my infrastructure back. I gotta start recording on schedule, posting on schedule, doing all kinds of stuff, getting some AI tools to help me mass produce all this stuff. And I still haven't even decided if I'm going to use Restream, if I'm going to go with Discord, if I'm just going to wing it. I don't know. I'd kind of like to use Restream, because sending somebody that link is so easy. To get somebody who doesn't use Discord or something, it's so much easier. Just send them a Restream link, they click it, and they jump in. Since my co-star isn't here, since either co-star isn't here, Dan and Will completely gone, and I'm just here to vamp at this point. The view change is more for mobile, I believe. Manguli has changed it. He was talking about it on Saturday. So, yeah, because I think what Twitch is trying to do is get into the vertical streaming market the way TikTok and, X are doing. So I've like when I used to do the 7 days of Christmas, and each of those 7 days I would interview a new content creator. I used to do Discord, but that's because I was dealing with other content creators. Everybody was on Discord. We didn't have Restream at the time. Now there's tons and tons. Like there's software overload now. And so it's a matter of finding the tool that's going to be right for me. Like I use Filmora X Wondershare to edit my videos. And I really want to get away from that because though it's good and I'm pretty good with it, I want to use what the pros are using, which is like DaVinci.
Hey.
And he's back.
Sorry about that, guys.
Real Bubba Hotep, that would be Goodfellas.
Same.
Goodfellas is hands down the best Ray Liotta movie. Although
honestly, I don't even know that many other Ray Liotta movies.
He's got some good ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but Sup, Miss Hillary?
Okay, sorry. Apologies for that taking some time and me being gone, and it's now like 9:20 or something. You want to jump right into this?
Yeah, well, you'll know how to edit this one because the curtain's been open the whole time, but you'll just look for the empty chair and start editing after the chair gets filled. So that'll probably...
I'm certainly not going to record anything that doesn't have my face on it, so that's a non-starter.
Yeah.
All right. Through the magic of technology, we do have Will here for the intro and for his scoring, so we can throw to that, and then get started. I'll take your silence as a yes. All right.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, okay. I was clearing my throat. I need to cut a hole in the end of this so I can tap my microphone and mute it. But then I wouldn't be able to, well, I guess I could still see it. It'd work. Yeah, I'll have to cut a hole in it.
Okay. Can you not touch it through the...
Nope. Doesn't work through it. I got to pull the muff off.
Yeah.
Put the finger through the hole, you say?
Out on that note.
Unhappy with his workload, Robbins gives his abrupt notice to the military and spends his first few days of retirement on an island getaway, trying to get away.
I love his intros. An abrupt military retirement. Well said.
Yeah, that doesn't spoil anything, does it?
Not really. I mean, I don't know that we're worried about spoiling this 32-year-old movie, but sure. We can barely hear Will. I don't know.
I can turn that up, but I'm going to turn that up a little bit.
I can do it better in the edit for sure because I have the raw footage. I don't know if I can make it.
Yeah, Skinny Matthew's over on my side, so I just turned him up on my side, so they'll be hearing you and Will a little bit louder.
Gotcha. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get together with two of my friends. We take a movie franchise, break it down by film, give it an overall score, and then throw it back up on the board. However, this week is our Patreon pick, where you guys get to choose which movie we're going to discuss. And so this week, we're discussing No Escape from 1994, starring Ray Liotta. And unfortunately, I am joined by only Brian, as Will is off gallivanting throughout the world. Brian, how are you doing this week?
I'm pretty good. I thought you were going to say, unfortunately, I'm joined with Brian. That's where you're going with that.
I got like halfway there, not even as a joke, just kind of happened. I'm like, oh, backtrack, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. This week's been pretty busy. I got school starting up, so we're doing all the school stuff. We did meet the teacher today, and so I got here a little bit late. Sounds like you had some chaos in your household as well today.
A little bit. We had an open house this afternoon, and then there was some mix-up between my wife and I and who was looking after the kids, so just a little bit off. But I actually just recently got out of watching the brand new Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day. You can definitely check out the channel for my review, but spoiler alert, I loved it. Now, obviously, if you've been watching this for any length of time, you know that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so that was probably like the least surprising thing I could have said. But regardless, go check that movie out. It was so well done. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going to discuss that later on Backseat Cinema. Right here, right now, we are discussing the Patreon pick, No Escape, 1994, starring Ray Liotta. I have to ask you, have you ever seen this movie before?
I didn't think that I had seen it before. When it was described to me, the name didn't ring a bell. I was thinking Ray Liotta, and I couldn't, I was thinking Goodfellas, right? Is what comes to mind when you say Ray Liotta. Couldn't remember it. And then we get to it, and yes, I have seen it. And I guess there's a reason why I forgot it. So just to kind of get a jump on the situation here.
Totally fair. Your background reminds me of like Final Fantasy VII, like Cloud looking up at the Shinra building.
Yeah, well, in the beginning of the movie, he goes to this immense facility that they spend like probably 20% of their budget on, and then immediately they vacate that and go to an island. So so I got this up here for it to resemble the first, 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, this so that's a great segue. I've also never seen this movie before, or I guess I've only never seen this movie before because you have seen it. This movie kept me guessing the entire way along because it starts off with his abrupt departure from the military in the opening credits, and then we see him brought to this like military complex, and they're like, I guess it starts off with the opening crawl, which is like the year is 2022, the distant future from 1994, and in this age, like prisoners are. Our prison system is like big business with like all the major corporations owning people and whatnot. And like none of that makes any sense for the movie you watch anytime after that. Because like there's nothing in this film that requires it taking place 30 years in the future. Like no technology of any kind, no reason for it. And like the whole like, oh, prisoners are big business. That doesn't come up once. They get lost on an island. Like they're trying to kill as many of them as humanly possible. They're not trying to keep them alive. Like,
and honestly,
what?
I had huge issue with the whole prison systems are big business nonsense. It doesn't need to be in the film. You need to write a better plot point than that because there's not a good excuse for why these people are on this island, what they're doing with the prisoners. None of it really makes sense. Their excuse just doesn't add up to me. It was a huge plot hole. And them going from the high-tech facility out to the island didn't make any sense either, especially when you find out who else is there and why they are there. You're like, what? This kid got sent to the island because he was like the backseat driver of he was the driver for the getaway of a crime and didn't hardly do anything. And he got this maximum crime where our hero straight up shot a dude in the head in front of everybody and then also got himself into more trouble once he got to the facility. That's what cost him to get, and even that didn't really make any sense. You would think that they would just send extraordinarily violent people to this island and drop them off to get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Well, like, as I was saying, like this movie took me on a ride because I did not know anything about this. We kind of just came in and like random. So it starts off, you get this like prison movie. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a prison break story. We're going to be trying to get out of the prison. Makes sense. And then 10 minutes at absolute most later, you never see that prison again. You're gone. You're on this island. He's getting dropped off on this island. You're like, okay. And then there's like tribes. Now let me finish my point. And then they bring out like tribes people. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be like surviving the game. Like it's going to be him versus like 50 people hunting him down. No, they take him to a civilization. You're like, okay, this is feeling kind of Mad Maxy, like Waterworld. Like here's here's a dystopian civilization. No, he leaves them and he finds a hippie commune and he's all of a sudden like hanging it with the father. And I'm like, what is happening in this film? Like every 10 to 15 minutes, it felt like he was just changing tones so drastically. Yeah. And just like, okay. And then even at the end, there's like, I don't want to say a twist, but like a point where I'm like, cool, this is the ending. Nope. It continues on for like 10 minutes. You're like, what?
Yeah, and they even make a point of explaining that he has escaped from other prisons. Like he's an escape artist almost. Like he's good at breaking out, right? So you think that's what it's going to be all about. And it really isn't. It isn't at all, actually. So it was... yeah, the plot is all over the place on this and was probably the biggest factor for me where I had such huge issue with this movie. None of it really makes sense. You don't know where it's going. I don't mind the twists and turns so much. Oh. It was interesting how they traverse different sections and do different things. But at the same time, you're just kind of like, what are we going for here?
The fact that it was keeping me up on my toes, much like the original Mad Max, where it's like, I don't know what this story is yet, that actually keeps me more engaged. Like, if they just stayed at the futuristic prison and it was just him being a dick to his superiors, I probably would have lost interest even faster than I did. because it's just very monotone. So the fact that it was like, and now we're throwing this at you, and now we're throwing this, like my brain is constantly engaging. Like, wait, what are we doing now? What is this film now? And like most of the film does take place at the hippie commune, so it does kind of like land on that. Like, okay, now I understand what's happening. It just took us a second to get here. But even then, I'm half the time looking at most of the people at the hippie commune, like, why are you in the like island of misfit toys? Like, I don't understand how you guys went to the maximum security prison in the first place, let alone were so hardcore that they couldn't handle you at the maximum security place and sent you to this place. Like the kid is one thing, but realistically, all of them there were just like, harmless.
Like 80 or 90 of these guys turn a dystopian wasteland into a kind of a utopia almost. They had everything. It was a fishing village with all kinds of tools and stuff that they'd made and crafted. Their clothes actually looked pretty cool for homemade stuff. Like, it wasn't just trash. It was really well sewn together stuff. So it was kind of weird because, like, why would these people end up on this island in the first place? So this whole backdrop, this whole setting that we're dealing with is a mixed bag for me. One, I enjoy the transition through all these places and the world building that goes on. It was kind of cool, but I couldn't get my bearings at the same time. So it was a little bit of a mishmash for me. And to pivot to something else that was both good and bad at the same time would be our main villain. Our main villain was a great character. I loved his enthusiasm and his style and everything else, but he was absolutely not scary to me in the slightest. So on one hand, I really like the character, but he's not doing it for me as a villain. I felt like he should have been the second in command of a truly evil, dark villain. And he would have just been that comedic relief, that sarcastic attitude. And I think it would have been a lot better. What did you think of our main character? I don't even know can't remember what his name was.
I know which one you're talking about. The Stuart Wilson, Merrick. Is the guy's name.
Merrick.
Super charismatic.
Yeah.
Not exactly, like, not terrifying in any way, not scary. Like, I don't really understand how he is in charge of the commune that he's in charge of, because there's much scarier people there. Now, he is more charismatic than maybe some of them, probably smarter than some of them. But in that society, I don't understand how he doesn't just get his throat slit at some point.
I think just because he had the gun.
Which is fair, but then he lost the gun at the beginning of the movie. So, like, if you're somebody under him who's like, I'm not happy with this guy's leadership. I mean, I guess we do get the one, like, taser face guy who does step up and is like, why are you leading us? Then he gets his throat cut. So maybe that was that.
And wasn't there a point he said that he went and he, like, killed all the heads of the tribes to unite them, right? It was like a line, a single line in it. He dumped some heads on the ground and he's like, all right, I'm the boss now. And that was it. But you kind of felt like he was the boss from the beginning. You never saw that structure. It was just like this one scene where he dumps some heads on the floor and he's like, I've eliminated all the other gang leaders. You're now under my command. That's it. And I'm not sure. Did he even have the gun at that time? I think he'd already lost the gun too.
I think he had a sword or his knife or whatever it was.
So it didn't even make any sense then. So the plot is just so full of holes.
His character feels like the type where, like, you should have had like you're saying, like a bigger boss, or even like the jail warden show up and he cowers underneath him. So, like, he is the big fish in a small pond, but he is not a big fish. And instead they're just trying to play him off as being, the biggest and baddest on the school lot. And you're just like, you're just not, though. I just do not get that from you whatsoever.
Like the character, fun character, but just not scaring me. It's not selling the point.
Yeah. This could get cut if it doesn't work. Did you ever play Fallout 3?
Yes, a lot. I'm a huge fan of the Fallout franchise.
So Fallout 3 has same kind of thing. You're on a jungle island, and the villain is same kind of thing. Like, he's this charismatic guy, but he's also a sociopath. And you get the feeling like this guy will murder you just as easily as he would, cross the street. That is what this character was missing. Like, that edge to him. He had the charisma down, great acting job, but just not intimidating in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Speaking of acting, I think there were some good points in the acting. What's his name? Bean, the father. He was pretty good. I didn't have a solid grip on his character, but I think he played it well. Ray Liotta had some great moments where he did a lot of staring off into space. And they kind of pushed that sequence too much for my tastes. But Ray Liotta did it well. You know, he was a tormented soul, and he did that pretty well. So that was okay. It just, again, they pushed it so much, and it didn't need to be that much in the film. You just need to know that he did some things he felt regret for. You know, that was really it.
Well, they had a lot of staring off into the sunsets with him, but then they also had a lot of like, because his superior ordered him to like burn a village with like women and children in it.
Yeah.
And so like we get those like PTSD moments.
Yeah.
Which looked so awful. Like they
looked
brutal.
like Judgment Day scenes from Terminator 2. Like it looked like the burning, you know, when Sarah Connor has her dreams of the bomb dropping.
I think it looks significantly worse than that.
Oh yes, it did. It did.
Okay.
It was like the Temu version of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was like a Windows screensaver from like Windows 94. Like it was bad.
It was bad.
But that was his PTSD, and so be it. And I get the story they're trying to tell, but it was just awkward. And then like you said, you got him talking to the other people and like what the other people have done, and like one guy created a bomb, didn't set the bomb off. Didn't kill anybody, but he created a bomb. So he's going to Supermax jail. And you have one guy who drove the getaway car for a kidnapping. That's it. Going to Supermax jail. And you're just like, I get that it's big business. So it's probably one of those things where like everybody's getting arrested for literally anything they do because the more people in jail, the more money you get. But then if that's the story, why are you putting these people on an island that nobody knows about? And we have to have it satellite protected so nobody can find out about it. And the prisoners are killing themselves off and you don't really care. So like, are they worth money? Or like the whole plot just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I was like, okay, maybe they're taking these prisoners in and receiving money to take care of this prisoner, but then they just drop them off on this island and don't use the resources, right? They just pocket the money for it. That's what I was thinking. And I was like, well, then you're already pretty heartless. Why wouldn't you just euthanize these people? Or is there maybe a tracker device that lets you know that they're alive? So you can't kill them. You got to keep them alive. But then they don't care if they kill them off on the island. They're not interceding there either. So, like, I can't find a way to make this plot work. I just can't.
You know what? Set some cameras up around the island. Have it be a reality television show. Look at all these guys killing each other. And like now we're getting sponsorship ads on top of getting paid for it. Like something like that. I'd be like, okay, that's weird, but
yeah,
so
like Death Race at least published their race to the internet and sold some money for these criminals driving cars around shooting each other. Yeah, that kind of made sense, at least enough that I was like, okay, I'll watch these guys drive around and shoot guns.
Yeah, exactly. It was something. This one, it almost felt like they set up that plot and then turn around on it so quickly. It's just like, why didn't you just not set up the plot? Like, like, hey, this guy's a bad guy. He's going to prison. That's all I needed. Like it's a movie about a guy on an island. Like, just put him on the island as quickly as possible. The whole
why
opening
spend so much of your budget
blurb
doing this futuristic, fancy, high-tech CGI prison system that you don't even use? It's just weird.
The double helix helicopters were kind of cool. And like those are like actual like Russian helicopters that they just used because they looked futuristic.
Yep.
Okay. But like outside of those helicopters, this movie could have taken place in 1994. It really could have. There was no reason for this to be 2022.
Yep. It did not need to be a futuristic film.
Weird side note, one of the few like things I looked up on this movie that was actually kind of interesting. Movie takes place in 2022, stars Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta passed away in 2022. Just one of those, like, what are the odds kind of a things. Like, you were going to set a movie 30 years in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he dies in the movie. That would have been weird. But
Ray Liotta wanted to star as a hero because he wanted to get away from the shady villain type that he had been kind of cast before. So he took on this role, which was still kind of weird because in the opening sequence, he walks over and shoots a dude in the head. And he's the hero of our film, which also that didn't really jive with the character that we ended up seeing. I was like, this just doesn't seem like he would do that.
It doesn't. It doesn't feel very heroic for like I want to play a hero character.
Yeah,
you're, like anti-hero at absolute best. But even then, like, do you like this character by the end? I don't
really
think you do. Like,
not really. He's kind of an asshole.
And like. The best thing he does is tell the little kid, like, piss off, and then, like, all right, I'm here begrudgingly to help protect the village.
Yeah, speaking of begrudgingly, Martin Campbell, the director, actually turned this down twice before he
Yeah.
took it up. I thought that was kind of hilarious. He actually
And
needed
then-
money to buy a house, and so he
Yeah.
had to do the film.
Turned it down twice and is like, you know what? I could use a paycheck. Sure.
Yeah. Money's tight.
Sometimes that's what
great.
makes it happen. Sometimes that's what
Yeah.
twists the wheels. We were talking about in the watch party. There's a scene with all like the old computers in there, and I think you actually made the joke like, "Oh, look, they must have bought all these computers from Jurassic Park or something like that."
Yeah.
The actual room was more designed to look like Alien, ironically, and even used like sound design from the Alien movies to make it
Mhm.
kind of fit in with those, which is kind of interesting. But right after that scene, we get them flying towards the island, and I made the joke like, "Oh no, it actually is just Jurassic Park. Like that's where we are right now." Turns out this movie actually did use cutting room floor footage from Jurassic Park, so I wasn't wrong. That was actually Isla Nublar from Jurassic Park that they're
That's
flying up
great.
towards. From
Oh
Hawaii.
my
I was like,
God.
"Oh my god, I was right." Don't question me
Yeah.
on Jurassic Park, guys. I know what I'm talking about.
Hey, they're being thrifty, I guess. Points for that to recycle. And I did notice you said some of the sounds throughout the film. I was like, I know that sound clip. Like, there's like the rusty door opening sound
Yep.
that you hear in hundreds of movies because it's a copyright free sound and it sounds good as a rusty door opening. And like, you don't know it, but if you heard it, you'd be like, yeah, I've heard that in dozens of movies. I heard so many of those little sounds in this film. I was like, man, they didn't reach out far. They didn't try hard to make any of their own sounds for this or anything. They just recycled stuff to try and save some money. That's fine. But, when you're really trying to make a masterpiece movie, you usually try and generate that stuff yourself. They're not trying for a masterpiece movie here. They're just trying to create a quasi escape movie.
I mean, they're trying to make something on a budget, and even then, they didn't manage to make their goal because they made this for $20 million, and as far as I can tell, it brought in about 15. So, ooh.
Yeah, it did gain some traction later on VHS, and it has become not a cult classic, but kind of like one of those movies that everybody knows about. It kind of loves to hate on a little bit. So I guess it's okay. Man, there's a lot to hate in this movie, though. Speaking of other plot holes, the boat that they try to design to escape with, and their whole thing is it needs to reflect the thermal energy so they can't see the heat signature. And then they put a fucking V8 into it with like a flaming exhaust coming out the back. And I was like, what happened to the heat signature? What's going on?
And like people in the chat were like, well, it'll just go faster than the satellites. I'm like, I don't think you know how satellites work. Like,
yeah. Is it
I
going to go
couldn't wrap my head
faster than
around
the
that.
missiles the helicopter's
Yeah.
shooting at it? Like, it was terrible.
you got a satellite looking down at you, you got helicopters chasing you and missiles shooting at you. Your boat's not going to cut it. I don't care how many V8s you have in it. Like the whole thing was just so dumb.
Yeah. And then like they don't really even try to use the boat in the end. It's more about just kind of like Ray Liotta accepting that he's found a place.
They just needed a goal.
I don't know. Yeah.
They needed something
Yeah,
to
they just
try
need a
for.
goal, I guess. The movie's just all over the place, man. It just really is. However, I kind of did have some fun watching it, even though it was more like I was having fun trashing on this film. It was still, I don't know, the pace of it was pretty good. How they keep changing scenes. You keep watching, trying to figure out what's going on. It's always moving and changing, and there's stuff happening. And so it did entertain. I will give it points for that.
Yeah. I will say this was fun because we were in the Patreon watch party, because we were hanging out with a couple people, because we were kind of like cutting this up in real time. I don't know that I would have stuck with this one if I was watching it by myself in my basement.
Oh,
If I was
absolutely not.
Just by myself, I don't think I'm making it the 2-hour watch time. I'm just
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't commit this one to memory. I don't need to. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. Other just random thing that I was thinking about this entire film is like the hippie commune is made entirely of wood. The
Yes.
walls, as best I can tell them, are dried leaves, and they've got
Yes.
fire arrows that they're shooting at them. Why do they even charge? Why even get within range? You're shooting fire arrows at a dried wood structure. Just give it 10 minutes.
Even their armor was made out of wood,
Right.
man. Like, this is a straw man village. Just set it ablaze and walk away.
The first guy, because when he first gets to the hardcore village, I don't know what you want to call it, And they're like, we're gonna play a water game. You're gonna
The
fight this guy,
Outsiders.
and he just like chucks a knife and it goes right through. That guy's wearing armor too, was he not? Like armor, but still,
Like leather armor, yeah.
just chucks a knife at him, instant death. And you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that did nothing. I don't know. This movie, am I happy that I saw it? Sure. Did I have a good time with the watch party? Absolutely. Was this good? No.
Okay, before we get to our rating here of this film, we do have to talk about the one biggest Rudolph the Red Nose in the entire film, which was the Nerf gun that everybody's
God.
fighting over with that ridiculous twirly looking painted missile on the front that they get one shot with this gun. It's a mini little rocket launcher. It really looks like a Nerf gun that they painted black and stuck a missile into it. And
Like, to the
that's
point
like
where-
the
to the point where they cock it by like doing this action, almost like
Yes.
they're like building the air up to shoot the rocket.
I'm curious how many times they actually cocked that gun in the movie, because everybody who picks it up goes every single time. And I'm like, at some point, it's just going to break, guys. Like, stop it.
It's like a dad at a barbecue. Like you pick up the tongs, you have to tink tink. Like you
Yeah.
can't not. Like you pick up that
Yeah.
gun, you have to chink chink just in
Yeah.
case.
Everybody does it. And it was just the dumbest looking gun right from the jump. It just looked so stupid. Just
But
give
they're
somebody
so
a
proud of it.
1911. Just give somebody a 1911. Just a regular pistol. You know,
Yeah.
a Luger. I don't care. But
In
why
the
this
land-
ridiculous missile launcher?
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. If you've got no weaponry whatsoever, all you need is a Desert Eagle, and you're king shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't need this gigantic weird rocket launcher thing.
They could do a
but, like,
22
they're so proud of
pistol.
that
It would be
thing.
fine. Yeah.
Like on all of the promotional material for this movie, front and center is that red rocket gun. Like they're just like, yeah, this is our baby. It's like, okay, like that's not the way I would have gone with it, but all right.
And what's so stupid is like that's the thing that's putting Merrick in charge from the beginning. He's waving it around. It's a missile launcher. Go fist fight him. Go fist fight him. He can't shoot you. Like it's so dumb. Like it just again, plot does not make any sense at all.
It was just so that at the very end of the movie they could shoot it the one time and basically blow up the entire village. Not kill anybody,
Not
because
kill
everybody
anybody,
seemed
yeah.
to survive.
Yeah.
But there was a real big explosion that didn't hurt a single soul.
Yep. It was just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh,
And
my
what was also unbelievable is how did that village not burn down after the initial attack, right? Like it was still there. It didn't even look charred at that scene. Like they needed it pristine to blow it up. It was dumb. So dumb.
yeah, I just really don't have more to say. I'm sorry.
I don't have any more to
Like,
say either. Yeah,
I
ready to
realize
rate
this could be
thing.
like the shortest episode ever. Maybe Will's
No,
got
that's
some,
it.
some
And
stuff,
well, we're
but
short one person. Do we have any clips from Will? He didn't watch
we
this.
do
did
have
he?
a review from Will. Yeah.
Oh,
he did
let's-
watch
let's
it. He
hear
watched it without the watch parties. Poor soul.
Let's hear what Will has to say. I'm curious.
Poor guy that Will is. Before going off on vacation, we forced him to watch 4 Terminator movies and this in close succession so that he could send us all of his stuff in like the course of like 2 weeks or something. It's just like, sorry, guy.
Well, like the
Just-
title of the movie, there's no escape.
yeah. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, consider joining our Patreon. There's a link down below. Shout out to our producers, as well as our executive producer, Dino, and a huge shout out to our head writer, Real Bubba Hotep. If you'd like to join the head writer program, you too can choose a movie that we will roast for half an hour. Okay.
Yeah, we are blaming Bubba Hotep on this, right? That is, this is
There's no one else
entirely
to
his fault,
blame.
right? Yeah, okay.
There's
Okay,
no
just
one
making
else to
sure.
blame.
Just making sure.
Just reminding everybody though that I am trying to get more active on the Patreon. I've not been good at it yet, but I do want to start trying that, putting more posts out there, doing more stuff with it. You can join the Patreon for absolutely free. It doesn't cost a single thing. If you want to get rewards from it, that's where the money comes in. But you can just join the Patreon just for the sake of it, and it'd be wonderful if you did. Or join our Discord, join the R Rating Discord, come talk to us over there. We're trying to get that a little more active and have some friendly faces coming in. You're welcome, you snobs. I love you, Bubba. I do. I'm super curious what you pick next month. And you know what? Like, Bubba doesn't want to come online and talk with us, and that's fine. I did ask him, like, what made you choose this movie? And he was saying, like, we've done so many, like, thinkers and heavy topics and, like, the American Beauty and American History X and all that stuff. Let's just watch something for fun.
Yeah.
And I will say this was just kind of fun.
I had a great time at the watch party. I'm having a good time dissecting it right now. So yeah.
Exactly. It's good to talk about something kind of cheesy and silly as opposed to going super in depth on political topics and stuff like that. So I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, I'm so sorry for the score it's about to receive. You know how to work that out with Miss Hilly. You know what to do. Okay, so I'll do Will last as always. So we'll cut to you, Brian.
Okay. The plot really held this movie back. It got such terrible, terrible scores for this plot. I wasn't super excited about the direction of the film, some of the choices that they made. The effects were mid. Sound was okay, being they kind of stole everything from it. Did have some good acting, just not the greatest thought out characters, and that kind of falls into that whole direction writing section. I had fun watching the film, not a lot of fun, but it was mostly because we were kind of tearing it apart in the chat while we were watching it. This movie comes in at a 46 for me. It's not one you should watch unless you're really into quasi-prison escape movies or Ray Liotta films, I guess. I can't really think of any reason why you should go see this. Anything that's 50 or above is worth your while, but this just doesn't quite make the cut. So I guess, 46 for me. It is what it is.
Sorry, didn't realize I was muted. I don't know what to say about this film that I haven't already said. My enjoyment factor from this literally came from hanging out with Brian and ripping this movie apart and watching this in the watch party and tearing this movie apart. This is maybe something I would have enjoyed in 1994 if I'd seen it and kind of found it and discovered it on my own. But watching this for the first time in 2026, this movie did very, very, very little for me. Ray Liotta and Hendrickson, I think his name is, are both fine actors and did a decent enough job, but they weren't enough to carry this film for me. Also, sorry, again, the villain, William Wilson, I think his name is, Merrick. Very fun to watch. Not really giving me villain vibes, but fun to watch regardless. The visual effects in this were pretty brutal. The plot in this was pretty brutal. The whole concept of the movie just annoyed me more than anything else. Bubba Hotep tried his best to find something that would make Highlander look good, and he succeeded. I would happily watch Highlander before I would watch this one. I have really high highs. I have really low lows. This one's a 24 for me. This was just not my bag whatsoever. You give this a 46?
Yeah, 46.
Okay.
I mean, it mostly because of the technical aspects, like the way it was filmed and the acting, the dialogue parts, like it's technically put together okay. It was mostly just the plot. It's mostly the plot that just absolutely destroys this movie for me.
And that's the funny part is Highlander, I didn't like a lot of aspects of it, but the plot is actually pretty strong. That's something we said in that film is the idea of it is cool.
Yeah.
The execution of it wasn't great. This one, the execution wasn't great, and the idea was kind of dumb. So it's just kind of what are we doing? If it wasn't for me watching this with a friend and ripping it apart, I would not have made it 20 minutes into this film. I just wouldn't have.
There's other movies with lower budgets that have done this exact scenario way better. Yeah,
exactly. And that's just it. As I was saying, it's a prison break movie. Okay, we've seen that done better. Oh, it's a survive the game. We've seen that done better. Oh, it's a hippie commune. We've seen that done better. Oh, it's a Mad Max. We've seen that done better. There's just nothing in this that stood out in a very positive way for me.
Right. It's a great movie to rip on, though.
Oh yeah, I've had a blast the last half hour. I hope Bubba Hotep doesn't hate me. I have a podcast with Bubba Hotep directly after this one. It'll be interesting to see what he says. All right, let's cut to Will. Hopefully, let's just hear. I'll go back to the intro first. Tell me if you can hear it, and then if you can hear it, I'll go to the other one.
Unhappy with his workload, Robbins gives his abrupt notice to the military and spends his first few days of retirement on an island getaway. Trying to get away.
Yeah, there's nothing I seem to be able to do to raise volume.
Yeah, I got it cranked up on my end as much as I can so people in my stream can watch it, but you'll have to edit that in post, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I can put this better in post, but hopefully we can at least hear what his score is.
Hey, big thank you to our Patreon writers for choosing No Escape for this month's Patreon pick. I had never heard of No Escape, never seen it before, so after watching it, I was eager to jump on the internet and do a little research. I really only gleaned two interesting elements out of that research. One, this movie was loosely based off of a novel entitled The Penal Colony, and I say loosely because they took a lot of liberties when writing the script and changing the story. Secondly, Martin Campbell, the director of GoldenEye, Casino Royale, The Mask of Zorro, he turned down directing this movie twice. On the third time, he decided, okay, let's direct this movie. I need to buy a new house. That pretty much sums up the movie for me. I felt the characters lacked a lot of development, and so the drama didn't really pull me in. I felt the action sequences were a little rough around the edges, and the pacing could have used some work, so I wasn't really on the edge of my seat. And the story as a whole, I just felt was underdeveloped and a little underbaked. So for me, this is a take it or leave it movie. It's a 50 out of 100. It's not bad. It's just not good. So take it or leave it. That's it for me. I hope you guys all enjoyed this movie or enjoyed our review of it. Back to you, Dan and Brian. No escape. Oh, wait. He escapes in the end. Oh, yeah. But we all knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming.
I swear to God, it's like he doesn't know that I'm making a clip show in the background. Like, it's just... I've got like 5 minutes worth of like stupid nonsense to have like as an opening clip show. And like half of it's just Will doing shit like that.
Can you put the R rating Discord, the R rating YouTube link into chat for them? They're asking for it.
It is in my chat. I don't know. You said you set it up for ! YouTube on your site. Did you not?
Did I? Let's try it.
I mean, we're sharing chat. Theoretically, the link that I posted.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. So it doesn't. Interesting, because when you did that, it did nothing on my side. I thought it would have.
Oh, that's my YouTube channel.
All right. Well, here, let me just.
So you'll see this uncut, unedited is what you'll see at that YouTube channel. I need to set up so I can do !YouTube and it'll bring up both of them like I did with the Coalition and the R rating Discord server.
So there's the YouTube
channel. There's the YouTube channel where you can find these edited videos.
No, that's mine. Shoot, I did the same thing you did. It's ! Movies.
Oh, is that it? Maybe I got that. I wonder if I got it. I'm going to do it too. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So it's !movies to get the YouTube channel for R rating.
There you go.
!YouTube in either of our chats to get our YouTube channel. And then !Discord in mine will give you both the Coalition and the R rating Discord.
Oh, because you both. So I was busy talking to chat. Well, what did he say his score was?
Oh shit! I wasn't paying attention. He lost me with that dance number at the end. What was chat? What did he say? Did anybody catch his score?
Mongoli's movie show is dead. It is now R rating movie reviews.
50. Everybody's saying 50.
Wow,
He gave it a 50? God, I thought I was being generous, man. You came out with your 20-something score, and I was like, I probably should have gone lower too.
Wow, I'm.
Oh wow, is it gonna clear Highlander? Oh no, is it gonna clear Highlander?
It's gonna beat Highlander. Like I tried my best, Bubba. I tried my best.
Oh man, I thought for sure Will was gonna come in at like a 25.
I want to go through other movies that he's rated. Because, like, there's no way he thinks this is better than some of those. Does he? Like, I mean, I don't want to... Like, I've questioned his ratings in the past, and I feel bad about it, so I don't want to do it again. But also, like, 50? All right.
50 seems pretty high for this film. I don't quite understand that.
The average for Highlander was 28. Now, granted, that was one of the first movies we ever reviewed. So if we ever went back, I'm sure it would raise a little bit just because of... like.
Was that for Highlander 1 or the whole franchise?
That's Highlander 1. That's Highlander 1.
Highlander 1, we gave it a 20. Wow, I don't remember. Is that we may
So-
have to revisit Highlander.
I think we do. And there's a new movie coming out, which won't really count as part of the franchise because it's a total reboot.
Okay.
But we could do it as a one-off and like, hey, as a special whatever. We went back and did it again. I gave Highlander 28. You gave it 35. Will gave it 22. There's no way Highlander is 28 points worse than this film. There's just not.
No way.
But what do I know?
I don't know.
I'm now looking for stuff that Will's like. So Will graded the entire Highlander franchise worse than this, which for the most part he's not wrong.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. The first Highlander movie shouldn't be quite that bad.
The last 4 Home Alones are all worse than this one,
Yes,
which is accurate. Anchorman 2 is worse than this one. Accurate.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was
Uh,
travesty. That was painful to watch.
2 of the Jurassic Worlds are worse than this one. I would disagree with that personally. Neverending Story 2 and 3 were both worse than this one. Fair.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, the Jurassic Park one, he probably grades those less because he really hates special effects. He really hates the Hollywood putting their fingers on everything and making stuff fancy rather than putting effort into it.
I appreciate that he's consistent in that way, but there's sometimes
Yeah,
it's nice to look
50.
at pretty things. I extremely dislike Will Ferrell. He's hit or miss with me, mostly miss, but he's definitely had some roles that I've enjoyed.
I hear good things about The Hawk, but I so don't like Will Ferrell that I don't want to go check it out.
Same. That's exactly where I'm at. Like I've seen movies
Yeah.
where I've enjoyed them, but I'm not like going out of my way for them. Like it would take somebody I really trust to be like, oh my God, this is a good one. Be like, okay. Because even Anchorman, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's one of his good ones. And we rewatched it. I'm like,
Yeah.
didn't really hold up.
Honestly, I think probably something like Stranger Than Fiction is going to be a movie that I'm actually going to appreciate with Will Ferrell.
That's the one that I always quote as my favorite Will Ferrell movie. I'm so happy you knew that was. All right. Sorry guys, we've been talking. Usually you talk to Will, so I have time to actually do these behind.
Yeah, we're normally kind of vamping and stuff, but didn't he give you an algorithm to plug that thing into so you can just
Yeah, but that's for our rating one. The Patreon picks a different
which
which is such a little thing. Like I've got the math done. I need to put it on the actual artwork.
I see.
Vamping, saying things, keeping the audience entertained. Vamping.
Do we know when that Highlander film's going to come out?
I don't even know if they've started filming yet. I just know that they're threatening it. I mean, talking about it.
Hold on, I'll ask my friend. Do we know when the next Highlander movie is going to come out?
I legitimately, for a half a second, there was like, "Who's your friend in chat?"
Looks like it's really happening. The new Highlander reboot stars Henry Cavill. Directed by Chad Stahelski. Going to be Russell Crowe, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan. I can't even pronounce that name.
Russell Crowe? I thought it was Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill as Connor McLeod,
Oh, my
including
bad.
Russell Crowe as Ramirez,
Gotcha.
and Dave Bautista as the Kurgan.
But can he pull off a successful Scottish accent while being from
From
Egypt?
Spain,
Yeah.
or Egypt, or wherever. Yeah, right. Who cares? Principal photography began in January 2026. Stahelski said that if everything stayed on track, audiences should expect the film in 2027 or possibly 2028, which is really vague. Yeah, it'll be like next year or the year after to be accurate.
It'll be some point. We'll get there.
It's coming. It's coming.
It sure is.
I was like, what are we looking at the top 10 list for? This ain't making the top 10
This is not
list.
making the top 10 list. This is bottom 10.
Yeah, bottom 10 maybe.
And with that, we see No Escape making the absolute bottom of our singleton list, coming in with a score of 24, 46, and 50 for a grand total of 40, which means I made Bubba Hotep happy because this is a lower score than Highlander, and Will happy because this is a lower score than Rumble in the Bronx. You're both welcome.
And it's none of Will's doing either. I can't believe Will gave this a 50. A 50 is technically a pass as far as I'm concerned. Like, it is as low as you can go and still get a possible recommendation from me. And I can't believe Will gave it a 50 because I can't recommend this for anybody to watch unless you want to make fun of a movie. And there's better movies to make fun of. In every category, there's a better movie than what this is.
I can't stress this enough. The only way I would recommend this movie is join our Patreon and watch it along with us in the watch party. Other than that,
that's
hard pass. Hard pass.
Yep. I'll say this. In the end, No Escape gave me about 3 hours of smiles. So nothing to do with that movie, though.
Yeah. Oh. All right, that's our rating of our No Escape. But what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Were we way too harsh on this movie, or did it get the exact score it deserved? We recorded this live over twitch.tv/The Mongoolie Show. So if you want to head over there and hit the follow button, you can hang out with us live while we roast movies like this. Or if you're watching this on YouTube and you made it this far, you probably enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. We see you in the next one.
And you know what, Bubba? They can't all be winners. It kind of sucks when you're constantly, like with franchises, right? The first film's always good because you don't start a franchise off of a crap film. And so the first film's always good, and then it usually just kind of tapers off as the franchise goes on and they run out of money and people and interest and stuff. So it's kind of nice to just throw out a single absolute fail. And it gives us something to talk about and something to, you can't have a high without a low to compare it to. So I think that's pretty cool.
And legitimately, it's okay. For one, I'm very happy that Bubba seems to. Oh, sure. Well, whatever. He didn't show up. I'm very happy that Bubba Hotep is taking this all on the chin pretty well. Like, I know Miss Hilly gave us a couple of her favorite movies, and we were not this mean to them, but not kind to them. Bubba Hotep knew what he was getting himself into. Like, he knew what he was throwing us when he did this. But like, it's super possible that somebody could be like, hey, this is my favorite movie of all time. I really enjoyed this. And we could just sit here and just be like, oh my God, this was painful to sit through. This was awful, blah, 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 blah. And like, I would kind of hate to do that to a fan, but also I have to be true to what the review of the movie is.
Right. Yeah.
So like, it's kind of this weird thing where it's like, I don't want to roast your favorite movie.
Yeah,
but
if you
also
pitch us a film and we don't like it, that's on you.
I mean, realistically, eat my own words. At some point, we're going to do the Clerks franchise, and I really don't anticipate you enjoying it.
Really?
Like, it's going to just be one of those like, oh, I'm just going to have to sit here and eat this, or literally any superhero film. Like, at some point, we're going to have to get to the superhero movies, and I just don't envision either one of you having a whole lot of nice things.
And
to
you
say
know
about
what? A smaller part, but part of the reason why I'm not watching superhero films anymore is because I know we're going to get to them. And I got burnt out on them. I want to kind of flush that bad taste out of, everything from phase 4 of Marvel that just really irked me and just kind of move on and then get back into it. And I'm hoping that maybe I'll check out Doomsday Avengers and go, hey, this wasn't bad. Or I'll go see that Spider-Man movie and go, Dan was right. This is pretty good. And so I'm hoping I can get back into it and find that love for superhero films that I always had, because it used to be I loved Marvel and I hated DC. And now I'm putting them both in the same basket.
I can't argue with that to the most part. Like, I mean, realistically, I have a soft spot for the MCU and a lot of superhero movies. Like, it's just a genre that I legitimately enjoy. That said, they're not without their faults, and they've definitely not been, for the most part, there've been a couple of hidden gems. They've not been up to snuff the last couple of years. Like, I'm not blind to that. I just am a little more forgiving than most. I legitimately think this new Spider-Man movie was really well done.
Yeah, when the superhero movies first started coming out, it was like, hey, I've got this great idea. We've got all these comic book stories. Let's tell those stories. Let's see if it's going to catch on. Let's put our heart and soul into it. Let's make it really good, right? And then on comes Iron Man, and people are like blown away. And it starts that where people are like, hey, I've got another superhero I really like. I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. And then we ran out of the main headliners, and it was like, okay, we're going to go to some of the other people down the list that people who don't read comic books may not know, right? And you start getting into those, and now it's just like, hey, we're riding on IP, and we're just going to throw these out as fast as we can, and it just felt like sloppy trash.
Yeah. I will maintain theoretically you should be able to make a good movie with most characters, because at the end of the day it comes down to how you write them. You don't have to write them awful, right? Like what's a good example? Shang-Chi. I don't know shit about Shang-Chi. I loved that movie.
Okay.
It's just like you don't have to know who they are. You don't have to have them coming in as hey, there he is.
I like the first Shang-Chi.
There's only one.
So I just think that I like when a director or a writer takes liberties. Getting your loop on there.
Yeah,
Bubba.
Can you mute the volume there, buddy?
I like when they take liberties and put their own spin on a story. They're like, well, I saw this character as this, so that's how I'm going to portray it. And it's different. It still encapsulates that character, but it's somebody else's vision. I like that. I don't like when they're like, hey, let's take something that everybody's going to like and make it as soft and squishy as we possibly can to catch as many people as we can. No, take a risk. Make it edgy. Take a swing. Like, go for it, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't really go for it anymore. They're just like, we're going to push another message. Push another message. It's not for me. All right,
what's up,
gentlemen. Bubba, what you got for us?
First off, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be in the waiting room. I was just setting everything up for
I can
the
get
next
ready.
Talk show. That's fine if you want to. But first, I sent a message to Dan yesterday as soon as I left the theater. I said, man, use the restroom before you watch this film. Do not get too much to drink. If you take notes because you're going to review it, use a voice recorder or something. Don't look away from the screen to write anything down. You are going to absolutely love this movie. And he did. It's a fantastic movie.
You're not wrong, except for I unfortunately did not take your advice and I did have to go pee during the movie. But I don't think I missed anything terribly important. I went at what I feel like is an appropriate scene. And I can discuss it with you offline because I'm pretty sure it was a scene where there was a reveal, but it was a reveal you saw like half an hour before it happened. You're just like, okay, this is what's going to happen here.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian, did you have a question? I thought you were going to.
Yeah, I had a question for Bubba. So Bubba, back to No Escape. What's your score for No Escape?
I would give it just a solid 50, and that is if there's absolutely nothing to watch and you want to put something on where you like explosions and you don't have to pay attention to it, because you're just messing with your phone. The movie was just bad. To me, it was like a Vidmark or a Full Moon Entertainment back in the day, straight to video type film. And it's good for a corny time when you're having a watch party with your friends and you're like, come on, they seriously put this in a movie with big name actors like Lance Henriksen and Ray Liotta and Ernie Hudson and Stuart Wilson, I think his last name was, Kevin Dillon, all those people. They actually made this slop, it was something to pick on, and I figured you guys would enjoy just mocking it, and just the explosions and everything would give you a good time. Like, I enjoyed the movie.
I think you're right.
Sucked.
I think you hit the sweet spot on this one. It was a great movie to tear apart, and we did have a lot of fun. Would I ever watch this movie on my own or again? No, absolutely not. But on that note, I've got kids bugging me. I got to bounce out of here. I'm running pretty late. So I will catch you guys later. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm going to raid over to Dan. Did you need to switch over first or something?
I was going to say, raid to Bubba, or I please.
I'm not streaming. I'm not streaming right now. Like, I honestly thought I was going to be in the waiting room. I didn't mean to barge in on you guys. I was just setting up.
Okay, well, I'm just going to end stream because I got to get out of here. Everybody go over to Dan's stream once he resets and watch.
I'm not resetting. I'm staying. I'm here all day.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Cheers, buddy. Have a good one. Great seeing you. Oh, now he's gone. Hey, look at that handsome fella. And he's talking to Bubba Hotep.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. You have like a dual screen mirror or something going on. It's just me.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, I am well. I'm well. I took a
Are
long time
you
to edit and I've just been chilling out all day.
nice? I finished recording my spoiler free for Spider-Man before we got started, but I'm not done editing it yet. So if we can keep this roughly to an hour, then I'll maybe try and get that done and out tonight. Legit
Absolutely.
question for you.
Sure.
Would you put it out at 11 o'clock just to get it out as quickly as possible? Or would you wait till the morning and try and actually have it come out at a reasonable time so that, because I find like with YouTube videos, sometimes if they don't hit right away, then they get like buried.
Yeah. Do you know your analytics right off? If you have more people watching you in the United States, I would put it out in the morning. If you have more people watching it in UK, Europe, stuff like that, I'd put it out tonight so it comes out in the morning for them.
Okay, fair enough.
That's one of my big things.
No, I
But
appreciate
I
that.
will say, like today, within the first hour, I got 200 views, something, and I think that's like
You're-
more like right off the bat. So I think people are really itching
Yeah.
for content.
Well, yeah, and for sure. And unfortunately, by the time even if I put this out right now, it would still be a day later than yours was, let alone everybody else is on the internet. Because I saw some people had videos out like by Monday. And I'm like, holy crap, guys. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and
Must be nice to get the invite.
I tried so hard, but I was online 7.5 hours last night playing Pal World, and by the time I got when it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I still had to do that video, I recorded it and went to bed. I said I can't edit it, but I wanted to try to get it out yesterday so bad.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
I am very curious to check your video out. I haven't yet. I'm going to wait till I guess mine is recorded now, so I guess technically I could watch it now. But I tend to like to get my thoughts out before I start filling my head with other people's thoughts. And
Right.
sometimes that bites me, or I'm like, oh, fuck, that was a really good point they just made. But for the most part, I'd rather have my thoughts than somebody else's good points.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'd rather have you hear my shit takes than somebody else's good takes.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. I don't want to be influenced by anybody to make it sound like I'm kind of copying people.
Yeah.
So I'll do mine and then I'll watch. And I always I get surprised on how much I say the same thing is a whole bunch of other streamers. I'm like, shit, people are going to think I did copy this when I really didn't.
Well, I mean, for the most part, if what you're saying is genuine, it's just came across with the film, then like,
Yeah.
Like, wow, this Spider-Man movie has a whole lot of heart. Yeah, probably a lot of people are going to say that because the Spider-Man film has a whole lot of heart. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yep. And if there's a big problem, there's, but yeah, well, like the message that you sent me after you watched the movie, and I laughed about it. And I said, well, as soon as you get done with your video, watch my review and you'll know exactly why I laughed at that comment that you sent me, because it hits right on the thing. You'll get what I'm trying to portray, like right off in the beginning of it. But
I
I'm
almost
glad
took
you
kids
liked
to
it.
see Spider-Man today. Went to dinner instead. Very nice. Anthony, Tony, I don't know. Can we call you something shorter? 3 names is very long. There was a death in Pal World last night. Is a death permanent in Pal World?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Well,
then okay.
maybe the pals, but not you. I died once, which is a record amount of times that I die in games. Generally, many, many more times than once. But my pal got knocked out pretty bad, and I had to rush him to the Pal World ER. I don't know what the hell it's called, but yeah, and incapacitated him. I guess maybe I should start streaming, huh?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I can start streaming. I think I've got everything set up so I can go live on YouTube right now. Let's see. Here we go.
Pretty much exactly what
Hello.
I expected. Haha, around a 7 for me. I mean, 7's not terrible.
Yeah, 7. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys had a fun time with No Escape. I knew that you were going to trash it. I wanted you to trash it. There's so much wrong with that film. But
Look,
you guys
Sorry,
were
go ahead.
laughing while you were watching it, and that's
I-
what I wanted to do.
you kind of had to.
Yeah, well,
I
you
had my
absolutely
camera on for the first time, and I was laughing along at the beginning, and I turned it off halfway through. So I'm like, I just want to look at my phone. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. I checked out.
It just absolutely meant for a laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm also a big fan. I like corny movies. I really like corny movies. I grew up video store. So when I saw Vidmark Entertainment, Full Moon Entertainment, stuff that was straight to video, like Puppet Master and Doll Man and all of that stuff, Trancers. Yeah, Trancers. Uh, I always grabbed it. So I had all of these cheesy movies that I would watch. So I grew up with a whole bunch of cheesy movies. So when I think 80s and 90s, especially like 88 to 94,
Okay.
I think of these really corny straight to video, and it's just a fun watch.
Nice. Are you streaming?
Yes, I am on now. Dagest, how are you doing? Anthony Joseph Stewart, my friend, how are you? Post-op, good evening. We are about to get in. Do you want to start with some games that you wanted to do?
Yeah, I was going to do that draft if you're cool with that, or you want to wait a week and actually plan that out a little more?
It's up to you. I think I have a
Oh, you know
winning
what?
draft.
I've got the blind draft. We could, or the blind ranking. You could do that without any practice.
Okay.
And then if you've got a game for me, we could do that, and then we can jump into some Spider-Man talk, some SDCC talk, and as I said, I'd like to keep this like an hour-ish.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I did send you a knock. Hopefully it worked. Oh, there you are. You look like you already said it.
Yeah,
Start
I think
sharing
we're
chat.
sharing. Yep, we're sharing. Yeah, we could do the blind if you want. I mean, I already have a winning draft set up if you wanted to do that, and that's just
A
going to take
winning draft?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
For the 10 lineup. Did you have the game that you sent me where you picked the 10 people?
Okay. How do you know you're going to get those 10 people?
Oh, because I know I am. You're going to let me go first because you thought of the game.
Sure. That lets you pick one person.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you incredibly choppy, or is that on my end? What's going on?
No,
there?
I am incredibly choppy, and I don't know why.
Cool.
It's
What's up, Trash Can? How you doing, buddy?
Showing through Twitch, I am incredibly choppy.
Do you have anything going on in the background?
YouTube, no, I mean, I literally have OBS open, restream so I can see you. I'm monitoring Twitch, and I'm monitoring YouTube. That's it. And YouTube's on a different PC. So I've only got 3 things going. I don't know why it's
That's
as choppy as it is.
yeah, because you are like 1 frame for 4 seconds on my screen.
Yeah, I don't get it. Let me shut down HUDFX and see if maybe that's what it is. Because I didn't even want HUDFX on here, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm getting 60 frames per second on my OBS. I am running good with YouTube. For some reason, it is like 100% restream and Twitch.
Huh.
That's the problem.
That's weird. Do you want to close Restream and come back? That
Yeah, I
shouldn't
think
affect
I'm
anything
gonna
on
have
your
to.
end. It'll affect my end, but not like it won't affect my end. You'll just disappear. But
yeah, it's restream. It's complete restream now. That's all it is. So yeah, let me leave out of here and then try.
Are
again.
you using a camera on Restream, or are you using your OBS whatever?
Virtual.
Yeah, because that
Virtual
shouldn't be a problem.
studio.
Brian will do that every week.
Yeah.
Weird.
So I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I can leave and then pop back in.
Give that a try. Worst
Yeah,
case. I mean, because this is
Really
damn near
harsh.
unwatchable.
Yes,
Sorry to be
exactly.
rude, but I mean,
Oh no! Give me 1 second.
sure. We'll jump over to Real Bubba Hotep so I get to see what he's doing, because he says it looks fine on his end. Yeah, Twitch on his end looks okay. All right, let's cut him. I don't think I can kick him. I think it's just going to happen. Oh, I removed guest. I can kick him. Goodbye. Sucker. All right, for those who don't know, this is Backseat Cinema. This is the brand new show with Bubba Hotep and myself. We record this every week after our rating, or at least this is the second week that we've done it. So theoretically, we're going to do this every time. Am I going to change my title? Probably not, but I might edit it and throw it out after the fact. I mean, I guess, can I change my title on the fly? I guess it would make more sense if I could. The problem is it'll change the title. Like, unless I go offline and come back online, it'll change the title of the VOD, will it not? Yeah, maybe we'll just leave it for now. And like maybe next week I'll be like R rating and backseat cinema and have it both in the title. Maybe that's the better way to go. Hillary should never shush. Tell the video, like the video after the fact. Like if it's up on YouTube, it'll be instead of being discussing R rating, no escape,
Okay.
it'll just be this thing. What's up, Bubba? How you doing,
Still
buddy?
super clunky on Restream, buddy, and I have no idea.
Green Tuckin really wants you to look at a picture that he sent you.
He sent me a picture. On Discord.
Bubba, look at the pic I sent on an early release I got. This is at least the third time that he's mentioned it.
The pic where? In my chat?
Probably Discord.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Hillary got super sad news. That's not great.
Oh,
I hope
dude.
you're okay.
He got I don't think I can hold on a second. Let me see if I don't think it'll pick it up with Discord. I'll see if I can share the screen over here.
Here, I'm in your. I've got your
Yeah.
Twitch up now, so I can see whatever it is.
Yeah, no, it's not sharing my Discord screen.
Went
don't
to the
have it
garbage
set
and
up
all
where I
have
can
to
share
go.
it.
Oh no, that sucks, Hillary.
If I
Were you
had it
watching
set
the
up
whole
in
bloody
another
affair?
deal. He was
Uh,
I'm sorry, he showed me the Super Trooper and the popcorn bucket and soda and the Spider-Man popcorn bucket that he got, or the soda deal, and it's
Okay.
fantastic. I love it.
You look phenomenal on Restream right now. I don't know what you changed or what happened, but you're looking real good on my end. Hopefully,
Yeah,
it's all working out okay.
I'm really not sure.
But like, are we okay on your stream? Like my
Yeah.
stream's going good right now. So
Yeah, everything was good on YouTube and Twitch. It was just Restream that was giving me the problem.
okay. I mean, I'll take it.
So-
I'll take it. I don't. Who cares what the problem was? It's fixed now. Yay!
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. See my hand movie popcorn bucket last night. That sounds worse than you meant. All right. I'll be back, gents. Sure.
All right, yeah, we're here. We're
Okay,
about
so-
an hour. We're going to try and get it to an hour. An hour.
Want to do like a super quick little intro? I'll do 2 blind rankings with you. Do you have something for me, or
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually do.
you got something for me? And then we'll talk about Spider-Man with as few spoilers as humanly possible, and then you move on to SDCC news and call it a night, something like that.
100%. Yeah, that'll work.
Cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Backseat Cinema. This is episode number 2, where I get to just hang out with my friend Bubba Hotep. This is not a very scripted show. We're just going to hang out and talk about a bunch of things. Got a couple of games for each other. We're going to be talking about the brand new Spider-Man movie with no spoilers, or as few as humanly possible. And then just some of the cool stuff that happened at San Diego Comic-Con, which was just this weekend. Bubba Hotep, how are you doing, sir?
I am well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well. We just got done watching or talking about No Escape on R rating, which of course you were the head writer on. So you were the one that actually got to choose that movie for us. It was a
You're
lot of
welcome
fun
for that.
ripping that apart in front of you.
Yeah, that's a banger. That's a banger. It's a national
Yeah.
treasure right there.
It was a banger in the sense that I wanted to bang my head. So there you go. All right. I have a couple of blind reactions for you. Now, what this is I'm going to give you basically, I'm going to give you a list of 10 different things, and you are going to rank them 1 through 10. You don't get to change the order, though, and you don't get to know what's coming up next. You just have to hear the answer and then put it somewhere in the rankings. I will give you the category, but that's all I'm going to give you, and then you need to tell me where these things end up.
Okay.
make sense?
1 for the lowest, 10 for the highest, or other way around?
I would say 1 is like the best.
Okay.
Like 1 is your favorite, 10 is the worst. Make sense?
Understood. Yep. Hit me with it.
All right. So I know you're a big horror fan. So for the first ever, we're going to go with horror icons. Now you get to decide whether this is like the scariest, the best movies, the best look of them. I don't really care what the criteria is that you pick. I'm just going to give you 10 horror movie icons. You tell me the order that you would put them in. All right.
Okay.
Where do you put Pennywise the Dancing Clown?
3.
Ooh, very high. Okay. How about Jason?
7.
Yeah. Okay. Ghostface?
8.
Chucky?
10.
Wow. Okay. Arguably horror, but I'm going to put it in there anyways. The Xenomorph.
4.
Okay. Arguably, I had to throw some weird ones in there for you just to see where they ended up. Freddy Fazbear. from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I'd say an 8 on that one. Yeah.
8 is taken. You've got 9
Oh,
available.
is okay. 9 will work. 9 will work.
Okay. Freddy Krueger.
Let's see. We did 4. Probably 6.
6 it is. I feel like this one might be high, but I could be wrong. Leatherface.
Leatherface, I would put it a 2.
2. Yeah. Okay. Sounds about right. 2 left.
Okay.
Annabelle. You've got
Annabelle's gotta-
1
Annabelle's
and 5 left.
Man, I really hope Annabelle's got to be the 5. I mean, I'd give her a 9 position right next to Chucky because dolls,
Just-
they're child's
yeah.
plaything. I mean, give me a break, but yeah, I'd have to do a 5.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Last one. Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Got to be the one.
Gotta be one. Now, okay, so your list would be Art the Clown, Leatherface, Pennywise, the Xenomorph, Annabelle, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Ghostface, Freddy Fazbear, and then in last place, Chucky. Are there any, like, if you could rearrange that, are there any, like, drastic cuts or changes?
I would switch and probably with that list put Freddy Krueger as 1.
Okay. Coming from a 6 all the way down to 1. Nice. Where
Yeah,
would you put Art the Clown, who's currently sitting at 1? Like, does he just get knocked down by 1 point, or does he fall pretty drastically?
Nah, he would probably take the place because yeah, Art the Clown, no real big deal. I don't care about clowns; they don't scare me, and he's just a psycho clown.
Are you going by
bit of-
scary, by like creep factor?
For me, going by almost realism, what would be if I was in the horror movie and the situation was set up like Freddy Krueger, everybody has to sleep, so you're going to, so that's why he'd get a 1.
Freddy, like as much as like Jason and Michael Myers are unkillable, Freddy feels unfair on a whole other level.
Right, yeah, exactly.
All right.
The real life things kind of scare me a little bit. The dolls, they're a child's plaything. Give me a break. I mean, kick them real hard across the room, you know, something like that. So it would go from like dreams to possibly like real life psychos to kind of the supernatural things, because there's always some way to defeat them. And then the freaking possessed Beanie Babies come in at 10. I don't care about those.
I've never seen the Annabelle films, so I can't say whether or not they're scary or not. The dolls are creepy, but yeah, that's about as far as I can go with it.
Right.
All right, round 2. Let's go with action movies, 80s action movies.
Go for us, buddy.
Now you are, yeah, exactly. You're welcome to choose the franchise, the movie, whatever you want to go with on this one.
Okay. All right.
Let's start off with a classic, Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is number 1 in my book. I love Lethal Weapon. All 4 of them. I absolutely love them. Even Jet Li being in there. Even 3. 3 was by far like my least favorite, but I love all the Lethal Weapons.
All right, 1 taken right off the top. What about Predator?
I'd say Predator's a good 4.
Okay. Now, are you doing franchises or just individual movie?
Not franchises all the way around. I'm generally pleased. I like corny movies, so even part 3s, part 4s, part 5s. I like.
Sure. Top Gun.
8. Not a huge Top Gun fan.
I was gonna say, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's 10. Die Hard.
2.
Good call. Favorite. Good call. Highlander.
3.
Okay.
Even the
taking all the top spots. Terminator.
5. I mean, their Terminators are kind of scary, but like action, high impulse and stuff. But
sure,
yeah, that's 5.
Aliens.
Have to go with 6, I guess.
I see a pattern here. RoboCop.
RoboCop is 10. I've never liked RoboCop.
I've only ever seen the first one. I feel like that's probably the right call. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, the cult classic. It's 6 still taken. Is 6 taken?
You've got 7 and 9, unfortunately.
7. Big Trouble in Little China. I love.
First Blood.
Yeah, 9 will be okay. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them, but the whole Rambo franchise I like, but just not.
I like 1 and 4. 2, 3, and 5 I didn't care for so much. So you've got first place Lethal Weapon, then Die Hard, Highlander, Predator, Terminator, Aliens, Big Trouble in Little China, which is kind of a cheat because it's a one-off, Top Gun, First Blood, and then RoboCop. Again, any glaring things you would change there, or pretty happy with that list?
I'm pretty happy with the list.
Yeah,
I
that seems okay to me.
Yeah, it's good. And I have one for you just to see how well your imagination is.
Ooh,
all right.
Okay.
This is a movie mashup. All right.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, this will be. You start out like I was telling you, The Princess Bride. You come up with a plot that combines the plot of 2 movies.
Yep.
Like when I said a pirate goes to rescue his true love that has been resurrected to be the wife of a monster, would be a princess, the Princess Bride of Frankenstein. That's the way that it would be. So it would be a mashup of that. You have to guess the title from my description of the mashed up plots.
It's been a long day. I might need chat's help on this one, but sure,
All
go
right.
for
No,
it.
absolutely. I would love that.
Yeah.
No, Bubba. Oh no, Portland. I don't hate you. I was just busy. Sorry, man. All right. Number 1. After an experimental time machine accidentally strands a teenager in the middle of an intergalactic war, he joins a desperate band of rebels on a dangerous mission while searching for a way back to his own time. As powerful forces closes in, he discovers that changing the past could determine the fate of the entire galaxy.
So the last one was Princess Bride and Bride of Frankenstein. So they both had bride in them. Do these movies share something, or are they just 2
Yes.
different things?
The last word of one movie will be the first word of another.
Because it definitely sounds like it's Back to the Future and Star Wars. But that doesn't quite work. So it's got to be Back to the Future and... Well, again, I'm assuming Back to the Future. Kid goes back in time, gets stranded in an intergalactic war. What else would have an intergalactic war? Back to the Future. Back to the Force Awakens. If only it worked like that.
That's close. No, Portland, I don't mean you. I mean the bad RoboCop.
Oh, I guess it could. Back could be the first word of the second part of it. So it could be something that shares back. Back to the Future Wars. The Empire Strikes Back to the Future.
Off the Blade got it. You got it. There you go. Empire
I got
Strikes
halfway
Back.
there, but thank you, Off the Blade. That's definitely a nice assist.
All right, so you got it, right? You know the whole premise of it and
Yeah.
stuff? Okay. All right, number 2. 2 goofy friends running a public access television show suddenly become unlikely heroes when a fast-moving outbreak transforms society into chaos. Armed with little more than their cameras, quick wit, and the love of rock music, they set out to entertain and survive the apocalypse.
Wayne's World War Z.
You got it.
Yeah, that was a 10 twister, but I was like, I was with you like from pretty early on, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking Wayne's World Z, and that's where I got rubbing again, and it's
Yeah.
twister. All right.
I like this.
After learning he has an estranged older brother with an extraordinary mind, a reluctant traveler sets out on a cross-country journey that uncovers a far greater secret, that his sibling possesses incredible powers and may be humanity's only hope against an unstoppable alien threat.
Sounds like Rain Man. And then unstoppable alien threat. Can I get it again?
Yeah. After learning he has an estranged older brother with an extraordinary mind, a reluctant traveler sets out on a cross-country journey that uncovers a far greater secret, that his sibling possesses incredible powers and may be humanity's only hope against an unstoppable alien threat.
Whew. Yeah, I think I want to stick with Rain Man, but what is the other movie? And it could be something Rain. That could work. It doesn't have to be Rain Man something. Purple Rain doesn't fit from my understanding of it.
Skinny Matthew just likes the song.
Purple Rain Man. Ooh. I don't know what the Alien Invasion one is. Black Rain Man. I don't know what Black Rain is.
Black
Rain
Rain's-
Man on Fire I thought of, but there's no aliens in that.
Black Rain's Michael Douglas, and Man on Fire is Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Neither are alien threats.
yeah, exactly. I may need more hints. I don't know. I got nothing on the Alien Invasion. Is it Rain Man? Give me that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Now you give up? Rain
Yes.
Man of Steel. Superman has
Oh, he's the
powers. Alien threat is Neil before Zod.
God
Rain Man
damn.
of
I was
Steel.
picturing like an alien invasion, which I guess technically it is, not two people. Shoot. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Did Matthew get it? Did he go up there?
Rain Man of Steel. He did get it. He
Oh
did
wow,
get it.
yeah.
Well done.
Oh no, yeah, he got it. Good job, Matthew. All right. Number 4, hoping to save a captive killer whale from an abusive attraction, a resourceful young dreamer seeks help from an eccentric owner. That's a hard word. Eccentric owner of a magical factory whose unbelievable inventions may be the only way to pull off the impossible rescue.
Free Willy Wonka.
You got it. Yeah, that one was kind of a gimme. I was going to use that as the example. All right. While competing in an international racing championship, a legendary race car is recruited by a former street racer for an undercover mission to stop a powerful criminal organization. From exotic locations to gadget-filled vehicles and explosive highway pursuits, winning the race may be the only way to save the day.
I don't even know how to differentiate what those two movies are. They just went together. My brain went to is it Speed Racer, which I've never seen. I don't know if that's even remotely. Need for Speed Racer.
Close, not the right one, but that's really good. Green Kentuckian has it along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. Fast and Furious cars. What else has speed in the title that's not just literally speed?
That's a bus, though.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm just trying to think of other movie titles, even.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I get it again?
While competing in an international racing championship, a legendary race car is recruited by a former street racer for an undercover mission to stop a powerful criminal organization. From exotic locations to gadget-filled vehicles and explosive highway pursuits, winning the race may be the only way to save the day.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of dead air if you give me time to figure this out. I'm gonna probably kick myself, but I got nothing on this.
All right.
Fast and
It's
Furious.
Skinny Matthew had it right, just backwards. Cars 2, Fast 2 Furious.
Too fast. Wow, that's so dirty. Okay.
Yeah, sequels work in this.
No, that's fair. I've never seen the Cars franchise, so.
Oh, really? You should.
Well,
I
no,
enjoyed it.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen 2 or 3.
Oh, gotcha. I don't remember 3. All right. Fed up with their soul-crushing corporate jobs, a group of ordinary employees accidentally becomes Earth's last defense after being swept into a ridiculous intergalactic conflict. Armed with little experience but plenty of sarcasm, they must outsmart an incompetent space tyrant before the entire galaxy pays the price.
Some of these I have like before you're anywhere close to being done, and others I have like I got nothing.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It seems like the harder ones come really easy, and the easy ones are really difficult.
Are you saying this is easy? No. Okay,
I mean,
fair
yeah,
enough.
This one kind of easy.
Give it
What
to me
we-
again, one more time.
All right. Fed up with their soul-crushing corporate jobs, a group of ordinary employees accidentally become Earth's last defense after being swept into a ridiculous intergalactic conflict. Armed with little experience but plenty of sarcasm, they must outsmart an incompetent space tyrant before the entire galaxy pays the price.
Office Spaceballs.
You got it.
Yeah, okay.
Office Spaceballs. Yep.
I was like, Office
you
Space
got it.
Quest. I was like, okay, no, incompetent. Let's go Spaceballs.
Yep. 100%.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
In a brutal post-apocalyptic wasteland where fuel is priceless and survival belongs only to the strongest, a lone road warrior must battle ruthless gangs while evading a terrifying uprising of deadly machines that have mysteriously turned against humanity.
I mean, it's obviously Mad Max, but honestly, the entire thing just sounds like Mad Max. I'm not really sure where the other movie is. Like, this could easily be Mad Max 6.
This one was a tricky one. It really
Mad
was.
Maximum Overdrive?
You got it. 100%.
Yeah!
You got it. Right on the nose, man. All right. I kind of like this one. After moving into a crime-ridden neighborhood, two brothers discover that violent gangs aren't the only danger lurking in the streets. As night falls, they uncover a hidden community of vampires, forcing longtime rivals to fight together if they hope to survive until sunrise.
Lost Boys in the Hood?
You got it. I
Nice.
just love it. I love the way that it comes through like that. All right, we got two more and then we're done. I
Okay.
kind of like this one too. A legendary assassin travels to a remote island seeking revenge, only to discover a secluded community preparing for an ancient ritual. Trapped among secretive locals and mysterious traditions, he'll need every skill he possesses to escape becoming the next sacrifice.
I don't know that this makes sense because I've never seen one of these movies, but John Wicker Man?
You got it. John Wickerman, you got it. I love that one too. All right.
Good. That's good.
And last one, and I kind of love this one too. When a legendary giant ape is captured from his island home, the reluctant heir to a vast kingdom realizes that greed is spreading far beyond the jungle. To save countless creatures and restore the natural order, he must embrace his destiny and lead an impossible mission to return the mighty beast to where it belongs.
So it's obviously King Kong. But what on earth goes in front of or behind King Kong? Like I can't think of anything that'd be Kong something else. So it's got to be something King. I'm going to go with Skinny Matthew. Mighty Joe Black?
No, I don't know where Joe Black would be. I know Mighty
it
Joe
didn't
Young,
quite
I
make
don't
sense
know
to me.
Joe
I
Black.
just
No, the answer is the Lion King Kong.
Oh, wait, give me that to me one more time.
When a legendary giant ape is captured from his island home, the reluctant heir to a vast kingdom realizes that greed is spreading far beyond the jungle. To save countless creatures and restore the natural order, he must embrace his destiny and lead an impossible mission to return the mighty beast to where it belongs.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair.
All right. I
Interesting.
enjoyed
Well
that one. I enjoyed that one. I like that one quite a bit.
That's a fun
Yeah.
game. I like it.
I hope you guys like it too. Trash Can Joe has been doing good. Skinny Matthew did really fantastic with it. Portland RoboCop is still upset because I said I didn't like RoboCop, but I didn't mean him. Didn't mean him.
You might have. It's the jury's still out.
A little bit depends on the blurb that he plays for the day. Yeah, Green did really good too. Green liked it. I'm glad you guys like it. I kind of want to keep that going.
These are fun little games we just
getting
played at the
that
beginning of the
banging
show.
fun.
If you got any suggestions out there, I'd love to hear them in Discord. We'll try and make them
Absolutely.
happen. We've got an idea for one that we'd have to do in the future, but it would kind of require the audience participation. We won't do it tonight, but in the future, Maybe we'll reach out to some people who we know we're going to be here and try and get your help a little bit on that one. But yeah, I got a couple more ideas for games in the back of my head for we can do before these. But
Yeah, I really
nice little way
enjoy
to
it.
interact.
And Windstorm, I'm the same as you. I really didn't like Willy Wonka. I didn't like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I liked Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Which Snowpiercer is the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Just telling you. I'm just telling you.
I think
Am I
someone was
not
talking
yet?
about doing that on our rating at some point because Will's never seen it.
Yes, Snowpiercer next month. If nobody becomes part of the head writers and it's just me, I'm pitching Snowpiercer for next month.
Yeah. All right. Bubba, you and I have both seen the brand new Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day. You've already got a review it on your channel, which I have not seen yet. I've recorded mine, but obviously it's not edited or out yet. Let's keep this completely spoiler free for now. What are your initial thoughts on the brand new Spider-Man movie?
Completely. But I have to ask, are the post-credit scenes off limit and considered a spoiler? Because some people don't wait for the post-credit scenes.
You say scenes, there's only one, right?
Yeah. I mean in general, because Marvel MCU is known for having like 3, altogether, or at least 2. That's why I say scenes plural. But yeah, this one only had 1.
Fair enough. I mean, technically, they could. Okay, let's say this: they could be spoilers, but this one specifically, I don't think is.
Yeah, I don't think.
Does that make sense? Like, there's been some where it'd be like, okay, that's clearly giving something away. Like the villain's hand comes out of the dirt. And you're like, oh, clearly the villain dies or does not die or something like that. But like in this case, what happens in the end credits, I don't think is a spoiler.
Right. We can leave it up to chat. You guys post in chat, YouTube, Twitch, either of them. If you think if the post-credit scene is off limits and we can't talk about it, let us know. If it's fine and we can, then we absolutely will. But
if we have a mod in chat, feel free to make a poll.
Yeah, 100%. You guys should. At least in mind, I see like 3 mods. But
okay, so Skinny Matthew, without saying anything, it would be a spoiler if you know why. I feel like I do know. I feel like if you know anything about the titles of future movies, then it's not a spoiler.
Right.
And if you don't know anything about the titles of future movies, then like,
it's setting up for another movie. And the only question you might have is Spider-Man going to be in this movie? But talking about the rumors and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Regardless.
Anyways, as far as this movie goes, though, I think we both came in pretty positively, right?
Oh yeah, extremely high on my end. I mean, I put it at the best Spider-Man, not just this Tom Holland franchise. I'm talking about Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, making appearances in Civil War, Avengers, stuff like that. Best Spider-Man.
Everything.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, do you include the cartoons?
No, I don't include the cartoons. Cartoons are canon for me. I was a child watching Amazing Spider-Man. You can't mess with the cartoons.
My apologies. I mean Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
like
I
the
don't.
Movies.
I have the very unpopular opinion of not liking the animation in any of the Spider-Man animated. So
that's unfortunate.
I don't talk about them.
I thoroughly love those 2 movies.
Just for me, too many things going at once, too much. Reason I don't like Marvel Rivals, just too much going on. I couldn't focus on one thing and my eyes were all over the place. So I didn't like the mix of all the different animations.
Fair enough. I am not ready to put it at the top of the list yet because I've only seen it once and I'm still kind of riding high off of it. You know what I mean? Like, if I had like a week to sit with it, even maybe I could change that opinion. Or if I'd seen it twice, I could kind of be like, okay, the second time through this didn't work for me as well, or this worked even more. Right off the bat, having seen it this afternoon, I absolutely loved this movie. I really, really, really liked some of the choices they made with it, which, like, I don't think this is not a spoiler, but this is the first movie where in the comics, Spider-Man is the only superhero who really strongly gives a shit about not exposing himself and keeping his secret identity. Like, if you ever see a comic where they're like all the Avengers are sitting around having lunch, everybody has their mask off and Spider-Man just has it like up a little bit over his nose so he can eat his pizza but he's always got it covered.
Right.
In all of these movies, in pretty much the entire MCU, nobody seems to care about having a secret identity. Spider-Man is constantly taking off his nano helmet. And in this one, not only is it not a nano helmet, it's a cloth face mask, but he actually keeps it on and actually tries to respect that he has a secret identity. And I loved that so much. It was such a little thing.
Right.
But I love that they respected that part of the character. That's like, no, he's legitimately terrified of anybody finding out who he is and potentially. Now, generally, it's because he doesn't want his Aunt May to get hurt, and in this story, he really doesn't have anybody. But still, some of the scenes where you see him in a mask and not much else, or like refusing to take it off, or you see him lift the mask up even when he's hanging out with Frank, and Frank makes fun of him for it.
Right.
That was brilliant.
He's like, come on, just take the mask off, man. It's only us, I absolutely get that. I would change a little bit. It's not just May, and I know that it doesn't have anything to do with MJ in this movie, but with Mary Jane in the comics, he was huge to protect her as well. I remember even a Spider-Man comic where he was talking to Venom on a payphone. I think it's a comic. It wasn't in the movie, but he was talking to Venom on a payphone, and he had just learned that the symbiote had all of his memories, knew who he was, knew all the feelings that he had for everybody, and Eddie Brock was going on and giving him a list after list of all of these people, and he just rushed right to, he talked about May, he talked about Mary Jane, and all of that stuff. So even with May gone, he's still worried about Mary Jane, and any potential future relationships he may have. So I appreciated that too, that they stuck true to lore with this Spider-Man.
I think the acting was actually pretty good in this one. Generally across the board, I really enjoyed it, but specifically Zendaya, who historically I've never had an issue with, but like I was kind of like indifferent to.
Yeah.
I thought she was fantastic in this one. She has a couple of different things that she gets to do in it, and most of my the scenes that choked me up or that I really felt a lot of heart from were directly related to her. Like her chemistry with Tom was way higher in this movie than any previous ones. And I get that they're married in real life, but they were dating from the very first one. And this is the first one where like you really felt it on screen. Or I personally really felt it on screen.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially when there was lack of emotion and lack of connection. It seemed like there was more, even though that there was none. The problem that I had with MJ in this entire franchise, it's not my Mary Jane. It's not Mary Jane, and I loved Mary Jane because she had an electric personality, just very popular. Everyone wanted to flock to her. She was just something.
She's the party
about
girl.
Her. Yeah. And just very, very charming, very likable, very compassionate, very everything. And you have MJ, and MJ is not. She's one of a girl that I would have hung out with in school. She really reclusive and has a very sarcastic, dark wit about her, and she really doesn't have much charm. She grew up in this movie, and I don't think that's a spoiler. I mean, it's 4 years later, they're out of college. Everybody knows that they're out of college, So Tom Holland, so Peter Parker, MJ, we're not looking at the childhood anymore. We're not looking at the teenage angst. They're actually adults, and they're treating their characters as young adults with young adult problems and having the mentality of young adults. And I love that. I was drawn to the movie because of that.
Yeah, I agree. She's obviously not Mary Jane. She's not trying to be Mary Jane. She's Michelle Jones, right? Like she is a different character. It's just they stuck with the MJ lettering just to be funny, I guess. I wonder if it's something they regret, actually, if they just wish they'd made a brand new character. But this was the first time. Like I've never had an issue with Zendaya. I've never had an issue with MJ. But this was the first time that I really liked her. Really liked her.
Yeah, and I think it had because of the more adult kind of responsible mentality about it. We could maybe relate more or something like that. She seemed to be more mature than just the teenage stuff. I love what Green
so badly to talk about this with no spoilers.
Yes, so do I. I think the age thing, I mean, that's not, you have logic and common sense. They're going to act older because they are.
Yeah.
But
there's two scenes in particular where I thought she just knocked it out of the park. As far as the cameos go,
she wasn't in very many more than, I mean, she was in just a handful of scenes. She didn't have as much screen time in this as all the other ones. So Everything that she did kind of stood out to me more because she had less screen time.
She might have had less screen time, but she had more emotional depth and character in the screen time that she had.
Yeah.
Like she was more pivotal to the film than in previous movies.
Yeah, I'm with that 100%.
I won't go into some of the cameos because I didn't know some of them from trailers, so some of them are surprising. But I thought everybody not only did a good job, but had like a reason to be there. Like when you think about it, it made sense to the story why he was interacting with these people. For the most part, there's one that's questionable, but the other 3, I want to say, makes sense to the story that they're trying to tell. It wasn't just, oh, hey, you remember this guy, right? Oh, hey, you remember this guy. Like Captain America in Homecoming, where he's like on the screen, was a funny cameo, but it didn't push the plot in any way, shape, or form. It was just an amusing thing. I feel like the cameos in this one actually pushed the plot.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's why I put this movie above all of the others, because the comics that I really appreciated, that I got into the most when I was a kid, and I said this in my review, were the team ups and the verses. When you had like Wolverine versus Hulk, and you had Spider-Man versus Punisher, or Punisher versus Daredevil, and then you had the team ups with Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and all of that. I loved that. Absolutely loved it, because they were New York characters. So you would just naturally imagine they would come across each other since they're in the same city. So why not make a comic about it? I was in New York, so it made me feel like I was part of the world.
Yeah.
And this film did that for me. It brought the team ups together. It brought the verses together. It brought all of my favorite comics as a kid into the storyline. And I think that's why I loved it so much.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. What was I going to say? I had another point. Oh, I love that he's in the closest to classic suit that we've ever gotten.
Yep.
Like in any of the movies, this is the most similar to what I expect in 1964 Spider-Man. Not that he has to be set 64, but you know what I mean. The most classic Spider-Man costume ever got. It looks legitimate. It looks like he's wearing a costume as opposed to a CG suit. I don't know if it was practical or not, but it looked like that. Like it looked in certain times like it was a little too baggy for him. Not like crazy too baggy, but just like a little bit, right? Like just enough to make it realistic.
Yeah, it wasn't form-fitting like the nanobots, and it didn't look as bad as Iron Spider that just took me out of the movies and all of that. Yeah. So I'm with you there.
Well, and like he's got a little bit of advanced tech, but significantly down from what it was. Like mostly he's relying on his spider senses and his agility and his strength, right?
He didn't have Friday, with him this time. It was just, if it was anyone talking, it was just like basic augmented reality type thing, kind of like like Ask Jeeves or the little paperclip on Windows 95. Pretty much just relaying information to him.
Pretty much, just yeah. I think the action in this was fantastic. Have you ever played the Insomniac Spider-Man games on the PlayStation?
I have not.
It reminded me very similar to that. Like, and like that is a good thing. Like that is a positive. But there's a ton of times where he's dealing with like minions, let's say, and he's hitting them like once, like pretty much knocking them off guard, and then webbing them to a wall and like moving on, as opposed to like a Batman character who's kind of like beating the crap out of people, and like in some of the movies basically killing them. And in this one, it was just like, no, just incapacitate, move on, incapacitate, move on, incapacitate, move on.
Right.
That felt more Spider-Man to me.
Yep. Now, the one issue that I had, and I bring it up on the review, and I really wanted to know your take on it, because I didn't follow a lot of the really beginning. A lot of the times I kind of gloss over whenever they're having like a recap, and this and that. Okay. And there were a lot of things. The entire movie made me feel like I missed a movie, because there were certain things that were taken into account, where they had a certain running joke with a couple of characters, or they had an introduction to a character. You knew the character before from a previous movie, but they're just so much further progressed into the character, and just like altercations and business connections or something like that you don't know why. They kind of take it for granted that it's been 4 years and Spider-Man has had a life.
Yeah.
But they don't really touch on what that life consisted of and how he made connections and how he made relationships and everything. That took
Okay.
me out of it. You know, I really felt like they could have made a movie for 4 years introducing how he met this character and how he came into contact with this character and all of that stuff.
Fair enough. That's kind of touching on something Skinny Matthew was talking about. That didn't bother me, and maybe that's because I'm aware of those characters. Like I know who Jean DeWolf is, I know who the Punisher is, so it wasn't shocking when he's talking to these people. Like those are people Spider-Man interacts with, right? And at the beginning of it, like yeah, he's been doing this full time for 3 to 4 years. It doesn't feel off to me that he would have made connections at that time. But also, I don't need this movie to be 6 hours long so that I can find out what the story of Jean DeWolf is or find out the first time Punisher and Spider-Man met.
Right.
If Punisher is active in New York, which we know he is because we've seen his television show as well as the Daredevil show, and Spider-Man's active in New York, it makes sense that they'd both try and stop the same robbers at some point and like cross paths. And like we don't see them as friends at the beginning. We see them as like darn near rivals. Like Punisher's saying like I'm gonna kill that fucking kid. Like he doesn't say the F-bomb, but he says pretty much everything else.
Well, I mean,
it was not something I bumped up against.
Showed in the trailer, he ran him over with his van.
Yeah.
He just said it right in the trailer, just kind of
Yeah.
boom. You know, there was nothing standing there. So yeah, he really didn't care about him, you know, but I also think it's because he knew that he could take it. If he was going to kill him, then he wouldn't have done it, you know, kind of the vengeful murderer with a heart of gold type thing.
I mean, for Punisher, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't care one way or the other. He's going to go stop the bad guy and you got in the way and that's that. Like, I don't think it's... Now, I will say, as a pseudo negative, because it's hard to ding the movie for this, but like, while watching this movie, especially at the very beginning, it really felt like, oh, this is the scene from the trailer. Oh, this is the scene from the trailer. Oh, this is the scene from the trailer. Like,
Yeah.
they showed too much. Not that I knew what the plot of the movie was going to be. So good on them for that, because I didn't know every beat going through the story like you do with some movies.
Right.
But there was definitely like almost entire scenes. Like that Punisher tank scene, you saw almost all of that in the first trailer.
Whole
And
thing.
it was just like, okay, so I'm watching this for the first time on the big screen, but I can tell you beat for beat what's about to happen because I've already seen this a couple of times in the different trailers. And it's like, that kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah. I felt the same, and I think that's why I kind of tuned out in the beginning, the first couple of minutes of it, you know. But I didn't really have an issue with that, you know. I mean, at least they didn't use the best parts of the movie for the trailer like they do in a lot of other movies that I get really upset about. You know, when you think it's a fantastic trailer and you go and look, and all of the things that make the movie a good movie you've already seen. So
Yeah.
you know, it didn't matter. It could have saved your money and your time.
Well, it kind of depends though, because like they left all of the heart out of the trailers, so you got all the emotional stories, but they didn't. But they did show pretty much all of the action in the trailers, or at very least,
Yeah.
like there's not. This might be a spoiler. There is not a fight scene in the movie that you don't see a decent portion of in one of the trailers.
That's true. I mean, you see what made the fight between Spider-Man and Hulk, but then again, you didn't. But for me, also, it was kind of like the build-up and what took place during the high-impact action scenes where they were actually trying to get away from them, you know, and all of that made the scene. So I know what you're talking about when it comes to that. And when it came to Scorpion, you know, the way that it was built up and the way that he did take care of him so easily that you saw in the trailer, it explains why he took care of him so easily, which is another thing that I really appreciated about that, because I think you and I have had a conversation before that Spider-Man actively suppresses how strong he is every time. So not only is he trying to beat them, but he's trying to restrain himself. And in this one, he lets some of it go, kind of like with the symbiote costume. He just shows a little bit more, you know, his inhibitions are gone, more or less. So I appreciated that.
Green Tuck, and just out of curiosity, I didn't recognize one bad guy. Are you saying there was one bad guy you didn't recognize? Or are you saying, like, I didn't recognize any of the bad guys from the beginning? The beginning is a montage. It really doesn't matter if you know who the villains are, because none of them have any value to the movie. It's just showing, like, over the years, he's dealt with multiple superheroes. I mean, if you want, I can tell you literally who all of those superheroes were, but I'm just questioning which way you're going with that sentence. If you only missed one of them, or you're saying I don't know who any of them are.
Or they're small potatoes, so it didn't matter.
Sharp Teeth
One guy that
guy
had
was Tombstone.
He was Tombstone. But Trash
Now,
Can
granted,
Joe.
Tombstone's supposed to have gray skin, and he didn't, but
Right.
regardless, that he was supposed to be.
Joe, that's one of the things that Dan didn't really want to talk about because it's a cameo that didn't show up in a trailer. And
But in
I know
fairness,
Dan wasn't aware of it, and I ruined it for him.
you did not ruin that scene for me whatsoever. That scene.
Not the scene, but the surprise. Now imagine if you didn't know she was in it at all.
Fair.
How? Yeah.
But in fairness, I was not like, oh, this is clearly going to be the scene with this person in it. It still was like, oh, here we go. Okay. Like, I knew she was going to come in at some point, but honestly, I was so invested in the movie at that point. I wasn't thinking like, is this going to be them? Is this going to be them? It just happened. I was like, oh, okay.
Watch my review. That message that you sent me when you got out, and that's why. Watch my review, and you'll see why I laughed so hard at that message you sent me.
Phenomenal scene for, like, honestly, like 3 different reasons. Like, I really enjoyed a lot of reasons in that scene. Now, that is one of the questionable, did this person deserve to be in the movie? Maybe not. I did like that she was just kind of they were just kind of pointing out, like, this isn't a big deal. Like, you go deal with this. This is not.
Yeah.
Because, like, so the thing is, there's a lot of times in these movies, I'll pick a different movie, for instance, Mysterio and the elemental things attacking London, England.
Right.
If you actually thought there was a giant flaming monster walking around Venice, Italy, why wouldn't Thor show up? Why wouldn't Iron Man show up? If you've got this monstrous thing, and that's always something they talk about. So I liked that in this movie, they're just like, this is nothing. You go deal with this. This is nothing for the big hitters. That's the only reason I can think of that she was in it.
Little guys are the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that takes care of the purse snatchers and the little Hacienda Cabana Mercado stores and stuff like that. You know, you take care of the car thieves and we'll take care of the big business.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I love that. But again, that leads back to you kind of got a hint of where their characters were going in Thunderbolts and stuff like that. But it almost seems like the last time we heard from them, they weren't there. You know, they didn't even really start. And now they're full blown in the mix, you know,
so the problem with the MCU is it's hard to nail down the timeline specifically, right? Because Thunderbolts took place a year ago in the sense that the movie came out a year ago, but also Spider-Man, the movie we just watched, takes place over 4 years.
Right.
So have the Thunderbolts been around for 4 years, or did Thunderbolts take place 6 months ago in the MCU line? Like, that's where it's like, I don't know how this works. I don't remember if Thunderbolts cements itself in a certain year.
Right. And that's one of the reasons that I didn't like it. And anyone that has heard scenes, and I don't think it's a spoiler because of San Diego Comic-Con and because of all of the talk around Avengers Doomsday and stuff like that. It's talk of new Avengers, you know, and all of that stuff. And there were hints and inklings of new Avengers and Thunderbolts and all of that because they were talking about it. But in this one, they're cemented. They're there. They're already established. And that, to me, it kind of went from 0 to 100. There was nothing in the middle of it. And that's one of the reasons I felt like they could have made at least a couple of post-credit scenes or a Disney Plus series or something where they could have addressed this a little bit more. At the end of One Last Kill or whatever it was with the Punisher, they could have had a post-credit scene on there where he ran across Spider-Man because he was back, you know, and that would have helped the connection and the relationship of them coming across each other and getting to know each other. You know, that's the only complaint I had.
I'm not going to argue that I want Spider-Man in more films. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Hawkeye television show, right, where he's visiting New York and he's going to the theater and like he fights the Kingpin. It would have been so easy. Just have Spider-Man like flip, 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 and he swings by. You don't even have to show him. Literally have the flip, flip, flip. Have the audience, everybody look up. Hawkeye does not look up, but his kids do. And they're just like, Dad. And he's like, yeah, I've seen him before. You know, something like that. Like, you literally don't even have to show him. But like, that just shows the world is connected. So like, I'm not going to argue that you shouldn't have Spider-Man in Punisher. But also, like, that is such a small contained story on purpose that like, if you throw the Spider-Man in there, is that just making it bigger than it needed to? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, think about with No Way Home, Charlie Cox. They introduced Matt Murdock. They didn't need to. You know, they kind of made a story of him getting in trouble and Matt Murdock being his lawyer. And that's kind of how they got the relationship. You had in the She-Hulk TV series where Daredevil and She-Hulk, you know, had a one night stand, and Matt Murdock is having the walk of shame and stuff. And it shows a relationship of how they got together. Absolutely didn't do anything to progress the story, you know, but it was right there and it established a relationship. It could have just been really close like that.
Okay. Fair. I feel like when you're introduced to Punisher in this film with the scene that we've seen in the trailer where he hits him with the car and Spider-Man's like, what the hell, Frank? So like, you establish right there, they already know each other. Right. This is not the first time that they've met. They've met each other in the past, and they're not friends. They don't agree. They don't have the same style for dealing with criminals or victims, stuff like that. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a Marvel fan and I've read the comic books. That's really all I needed. Like I didn't ask for more.
See, and that's one of the issues, because I mean, I don't want to say you grew up in the golden age of comics, because that's really clearly
that was
defined.
The 60s, but yeah,
you know. But you and I grew up in an era where there was something special with the comics. You know, they were introducing all of these mashup characters. They're established characters. We read multiple different comic books, so we were used to the backstories, how they met each other, where they met each other, that they worked together and battled each other from different times. We know this villain, we know this character. We've seen, if not all, most of the Marvel series. How is someone that they only know Spider-Man from the Spider-Man movies, they only know Punisher, they may not even know Punisher because they're too young to watch Punisher television series or anything like that, they're getting introduced the very first time. So they're coming in and they're like, oh, okay, this character that I'm not allowed to watch on Disney Plus is now on mine, and they know each other and they have this history with each other, but I don't know the history. You know, it seems super confusing. But
but that wouldn't change if you put Spider-Man at the end of Punisher One Last Kill, because theoretically those kids wouldn't be allowed to watch that. So it doesn't. Your point doesn't help your point.
Well, I mean, what about the older people that watch Punisher, but they didn't read they know a John Barenthal Punisher. They don't know a comic book character. They don't know anything like that, you know, and they've seen the television shows, The Defenders. They know that he's worked with Punisher and this and that and the other thing. But then, you know, he comes into the Spider-Man universe. You know, it just made me feel like if I was looking at it the first time, I would feel like I'm missing something, because even though I know these characters, I still felt like I was missing something. I wanted to know where they first ran into each other. I mean, now I want a series, or I want at least a short movie, you know, like with One Last Kill, the first time they met each other. You know, I would like to see that.
Can I throw a bone at you, or throw a curveball your way?
Absolutely.
When was the last time you saw Predator?
Probably when you rated it. Or do you mean Badlands?
No, I mean the old one, the original, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah, when you guys rated it.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to the jungle or wherever, it's been a minute, goes to the army base, and he's talking to somebody, and then you get, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. The one guy, Dylan. And Arnold goes, Dylan, you son of a bitch. And they clasp hands and they embrace. Do you need a backup movie to tell you that these two are friends? Because I feel like that tells you everything you need to know in the moment. You're just instantly like, okay, these guys are friends. They know each other.
Right,
That's what this was.
But they
You
didn't
have
have a running
Spider-Man
joke.
addressing like, what the hell, Frank? He's calling by his first name. I don't feel like I need a movie to explain. Wait a second. How did these guys meet? They're both in New York. They've both been operating for years.
But Dutch and Dylan didn't have an inside joke that ran through the entire movie.
The
that
inside
the
joke?
Punisher and Spider-Man have.
What was the inside joke?
That would be a spoiler.
Well, I'm super curious to have you tell me because maybe I'm missing something massive. But like
the entire "you saved my butt" in Staten Island thing. You know, I didn't need you in Staten Island. I saved your life in Staten Island. I didn't need you in Staten Island. That made me think. The first thing it made me think is, what the hell happened in Staten Island? You know,
Okay.
I wanted to know the entire storyline behind it. I wanted to know the situation.
do you feel like you need to have a movie about what happened in Budapest between Black Widow and Hawkeye?
How they got to know each other? It would.
They
be
reference
very,
that
very-
multiple times.
It would be.
I
Very
never once
nice.
felt like I needed a movie.
It would. I have thought about it a couple of times, and it would have been
Yeah.
very nice to have seen a series, you know. But they didn't mention it a ton of times, and they didn't. I mean, this was
They mentioned it over
what?
multiple movies.
Multiple movies. This was mentioned 4 times in like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, I you know what? Like the audience, everybody's on your side, so I guess I'm wrong here, but it just
It
does
just-
not.
It just
it didn't bump into me whatsoever. It's just like, yeah, of course, they've been active for 6 years in the same city. They've run into each other before.
I guess that's how my brain works. The first time I just started thinking, you know, did I miss something? What happened in Staten Island? And the second time I was thinking, I really want to know. I have to go back and look at all of these shows that I didn't watch because maybe it says what happened in Staten Island. The third one, I'm like, come on, what happened in Staten Island?
They do tell you what happened in Staten Island in this film.
Well, I mean, I got there was a fight that he saved a life. I don't know like the details. I guess I missed any of the details. Like
they
who
don't go
were
into
fighting or-
great details with a cutscene or anything like that. But they're like Spider-Man is talking about how like, well, what does this sound like? You know, this was happening and somebody threw something at him. I kicked him out of the way, and like that sounds like I saved his life. And like they're arguing at the time, so there's a lot happening on the screen at that moment.
Yeah,
but
I didn't understand a word either of them were saying because they were talking over each other. It sounded like mumbling. So if they explained it on there, that's why. But you know, I was thinking that maybe a villain that they were fighting, you know, or something. A certain time where Frank was like down on his butt, about ready to get smashed by a rhino foot or something, and Spider-Man pulled him out of the way. Some kind of detail, you know, to where I could at least paint a picture with my mind, and I'm not left with the question, what happened at Staten Island? But what did
Fair.
you think? What did you
we
think
got
about
real in the weeds on that one.
we really did. What did you think about the Punisher's character? For me, how it went from rated R, you know, and it just bloody, gory, went through kind of a sociopath, psycho, didn't care about anything, and he got muted down to rated PG. And I had said in my review, I
PG-13.
think, yeah, PG-13. But I mean, even the choice words, he gets a web on his mouth, you know. But
Sure, he doesn't drop the F-bomb, but he says a
right,
lot of
a
other
choice
stuff.
word. But it brought it down to where he seemed relatable, kind of like an uncle that you really don't want to leave alone with your kids, but you know your kids wouldn't die if he was left alone with the uncle. You know, he's rough and he's gruff, but he had more of a heart and he was more reserved. And I said in the review that I think most of the humor that was in this film came from the Punisher's character. You know, he was cracking a lot of jokes and he said some very funny stuff. So, I mean, it made the Punisher actually likable in this film.
I don't feel like the Punisher. I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen the TV show. I don't feel like the Punisher has been unlikable in the MCU in general. He's definitely more R-rated in different projects. Like depending on what project he shows up in, kind of adjusts the level of violence he's willing to hit. We're definitely going for 2 hours. Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, so let's change the
didn't-
word to scary. Not likable. I'd say scary, ominous.
I mean, he's not scary to Spider-Man because Spider-Man would kick the crap out of him, or the Hulk for that matter. But like, still, I don't know. I wouldn't want to rob a bank with him around,
Well,
even in this version.
True, but like in a rated R version, you would think, okay, he's going to shoot me in the head. In this version, you would think, okay, if I do too much, he'll shoot me in the head, but he'll probably just beat me up first. Type, he won't. His number one thing isn't going straight for killing.
I mean,
Just a
kind of
lighter
is.
character.
I mean,
You know what I mean? He's just a lighter character in this.
I
Can
can't
we
answer
agree
this
he's
question.
a lighter?
Yes,
we
of course
agree
he is.
he's
Of
a
course he is.
lighter
It's not rated R. Of course he is.
Okay.
But I don't feel like he's so much lighter that it's a different character. Like, I think he is still the shoot first, ask questions later type.
Right.
It's just that he's in a PG film.
Right. Well, I mean, I would go if we wanted to talk about spoilers, like more towards the end and stuff. We can't, but you go any interaction that he has with an adult, knowing exactly what he's doing with Matt Murdock, and how he interacts with him and talks to him, and how he is softer with a younger kid in Spider-Man, who's a little bit newer, but he can still do damage, and all of that stuff, and maybe doesn't realize the mistakes that he might be making. He kind of treats Spider-Man with kid gloves, whereas Daredevil, he just full on, says exactly what he thinks.
You did watch him shoot him with a grenade launcher, right?
Yeah, but he knew he could take it.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, interesting kid gloves. It is a PG-13 movie or a PG movie. I'm not really sure.
Right.
I'm guessing PG-13. Of course, he's softer,
but
it wasn't so jarring to be like, what the heck is this? Like,
right.
We know we're going to be getting Deadpool. Well, we heavily assume we're going to be getting Deadpool in the MCU in the future.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to be saying the stuff he's saying in Wolverine versus Deadpool versus Wolverine. They're going to have to tone them down. Obviously, that one will be much more comedic in how they do it. But, like, it just is. Like, like, I don't know. Like, again, I hate to keep going back to, like, the Will comic books. When you read comic books, depending on what book you pick up, you kind of always expect a slightly different tone, right? Like, Spider-Man has a very different tone from X-Men, which has a very different tone from Punisher, which has a very different tone from Superman.
Right.
So when I go into a comic book movie, I, again, kind of expect the tone to match the character we're watching.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think that Punisher felt like he could be the Punisher that we saw in Daredevil and also the Punisher we saw in Spider-Man.
Right. That was my question, like the transition from a rated R to rated PG-13. How they softened him and they brought him down, but it didn't take away from his character whatsoever. That's if you thought it worked or if he just felt kind of off and clunky.
I mean,
so
it will always feel a little off to have an R-rated character in a PG movie. But I thought they did a good enough job with it that, like, he's still toting big guns. He's still taking shots at people. He's still trying to kill people.
Right.
So
now I need your opinion. You could just tell me if you thought that it was funny or not, but there is a scene towards the end, and it's the Hulk scene, and the thing that makes the villain. We should put
a spoiler warning on this thing because we are dancing around so many things.
I know it's hard, but the thing that makes the villain happens to Punisher. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like towards the end with the Hulk
yeah.
fight scene, and Punisher acts that way.
Yeah.
Did you find that kind of funny at all? Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I thought it was humorous, and I was just thinking of the death count that he had, and then him acting like that just made me laugh.
But it was perfect.
It was.
You know what I mean? 100%. Like, it was funny, but it was also made perfect sense for what it was. It didn't feel out of place. It was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I said the humor hit spot on. I mean, it was right there, and it just made me laugh so much.
So the one thing I will say, not only do I feel like the humor worked, like I can't think of a joke that was clearly a joke that like fell flat in our theater,
right.
And our theater was pretty packed. But also they were way more restrained with the humor than a lot of Marvel movies have been recently, where like there have been a lot of Marvel projects where there'll be like an emotional scene and then it is instantly undercut by somebody making a joke or a quip or something.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
this movie allowed you to just sit with the emotions for a little while. They didn't just cut to somebody saying something silly or cheeky.
Right.
And even though in some movies I do find those cheeky moments funny, it still annoys me that they like totally undercut the moment they were going for. This movie just allows you to live with the moments. And I really liked that. I really liked the way that they played that. I will give massive credit to this director who I don't have in front of me, Dustin Daniel
Cretton, yeah.
I really liked Shang-Chi. I love the action in Shang-Chi. I really like this. I like the action in it. Wonder Man was not my favorite, but I did find it interesting.
I didn't watch it.
I think he's pretty freaking good. Like the garden scene in Shang-Chi and the bus scene in Shang-Chi are just absolutely phenomenal. Like the bus scene might be my favorite 1v1 scene in a Marvel movie.
Yeah. And
Like,
Shang-Chi had the humor as well. You know,
I did see that scene, Matthew.
You know, the humor was there in Shang-Chi as well. I enjoyed it. I had quite a few chuckles in that film. So I think Cretton does a really good job, you know, bringing this. And I think with his style, it really is family friendly. I mean, for the most part, that any type of action and explosion and stuff can be family friendly. You may not want to take a 5-year-old to go and see it. But if you're sitting there with your 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, you know, stuff like that, you don't have to worry about inappropriate, suggestive humor. You don't have to worry about things that the parents are going to get and they're wondering if their kids get it. You know, you don't have to worry about that. It's a nice wholesome time.
I would agree with that. There was a scene that felt like it was for the adults more than for the kids.
There was a scene that felt like it was just for me.
Yeah,
not anybody else, just for me.
There might be some pausing and rewinding when it comes to DVD.
A few times you might like hit the pause button and try and get up in your seat and see if you can look down.
Come on, cameraman, help us out.
Exactly. If I was a cameraman, that would be slipping constantly. Damn thing keeps coming off the track. I don't understand what's going on.
Let's just say I would not need as much convincing as he did.
Yeah, just like you're going to laugh at my review, especially like the blooper towards the end of the review. I lean in heavy when it comes to that. And I also lean in heavy with my very well-known hatred of Mark Ruffalo. You know, so
I was wondering about that for this film.
Yeah.
You're still going with that?
I leaned into it. No, I always will. I mean, there's nothing that he can do to change my opinion of him. I don't like him. And I think he makes every movie he's been in worse by being there. His presence annoys me. But we'll switch. San Diego Comic-Con. We will switch that around because we're well past the hour.
Yeah. Well, no, we're right about the hour.
Oh, are we? I think
we started around 10:30ish.
Oh,
by the time we actually got set up and ready to go.
Okay. There's a whole lot. I mean, they're agreeing about the changing. Chat is agreeing about Deadpool and everything. And that's one thing in San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't learn a whole lot from Hall H from the Avengers panel that they had. It was more or less just like introducing 93 people. And by the time that got done, there was a little skit with Deadpool. And I enjoyed. There was a short showing that Ryan Reynolds dressed up as Deadpool and he walked around with everybody, and they didn't even realize that it was Ryan Reynolds. They thought it was just somebody that was dressed up like Deadpool. And he went on and he had a conversation with him, and he was really flirting heavy with the idea that he wasn't in this one, but there was a good chance he was going to be in another one. And I love that. And I mean, other than that, there was nothing Avengers worthy, you know, like any real spoilers. They said that Black Panther 3 is coming out 2028, and it's going to star Chadwick Boseman's son, T'Challa's son.
Well, T'Challa's son.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
It's not Chadwick's son.
But
very different thing.
The one who played, I can't remember his name, the one who was in The Long Walk, and I think he did a really good job with him.
I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great movie, but he had a great performance. But that one thing I was really happy about was the announcement of Ghost Rider.
I was gonna say, like, that one. Now, you said you didn't care for the Avengers news, but the MCU news overall, like, Ghost Rider's up your alley.
Yeah, Ghost Rider 100% up my alley. I think Ryan Gosling is going to do fantastic. I hope Nicolas Cage will have a cameo in it, just because, you know. But Yeah, I grew up. Ghost Rider was one of my favorite characters by far. I mean, I religiously read his comics, and I can't wait to see if they're going to do it right this time. You know, I just can't wait to see it.
I can't say Ghost Rider's high on my list, but I do like Ryan Gosling. And after that announcement came out, I saw a video on TikTok, just a short, that was like a compilation of like 7 different times that Ryan Gosling has brought up Ghost Rider over the last like decade.
Yeah,
And it was just kind of like, oh, interesting. So this is kind of like an Andrew Garfield thing where it's like he's actually a fan.
yeah. He
And
really
he's
wanted to.
interested in it, as opposed to just like, oh yeah, I'll take a paycheck. Why not?
Yeah, 100%. And then they were talking about I can't remember the guy's name on a podcast, very I guess prominent podcast. I don't watch many of them, but that's been a running thing. He's always asked him, when are we going to get Ryan Gosling in Ghost Rider? You know, and
Okay.
he had the podcaster sit up and ask it one more time before they dropped
Yeah.
the lights and it went dark and they brought Ryan Gosling up. So that was kind of a big thing. I really like that.
I don't think we know which version of Ghost Rider it is yet, but I do believe that the version that has the car is
Robbie
of Mexican
Reyes.
descent.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
Hispanic.
don't think that it'd be likely to be him.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be the Ghost Rider, the best Ghost Rider. It's going to be Johnny Blaze
Okay.
as Ghost Rider.
But that wasn't announced, right? It's literally
No,
just Ryan Gosling and Ghost Rider, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only thing that was announced. They didn't maybe like 30-second time, and then right after he got off the stage, John Barenthal came on the stage and showed his appearance in Brand New Day because they weren't talking about it, you know. And that's really all that I saw. I mean, other than some trailers that really, I mean, I saw a whole lot of the trailers, and I'm not looking forward to very many of them. They released Reacher season 5, and I'm really glad to hear about that. You know, I'm a huge Reacher fan, and there was news that that Alan Ritchson is flirting with being in talks about being the next DCEU Batman. So
Okay.
I'm going to really enjoy that. I think the highlight of Comic-Con watching the panels for me was Spaceballs 2 and seeing Josh Gatz and seeing the huge ovation that Rick Moranis had for coming back and how
Yeah.
much admiration they had for him and for Mel Brooks himself. And I saw some of the humor that the team is going to have in Spaceballs 2, and it's right on par, that cheeky humor with Mel Brooks. So I really can't wait to see Spaceballs 2 come out.
Nice.
Hopefully it's going to be really good. But I mean, that's just about the majority of the stuff that I had on schedule to talk to. Is there anything
Okay.
you want to talk about?
Alan, is it Richardson? Is that
Mhm.
okay? There's so many different interpretations of Batman. If he was to be like a Dark Knight, which he's way too young to be Dark Knight,
Yeah.
but if he was an absolute Batman, like if you're familiar with that one, that's the run that's going on right now. That's super popular.
Yeah,
He
I'm
is
not.
a fucking tank. Like that Batman
really?
is gigantic, as is Alan Rickman, and like that's a super popular franchise right now. So like, if you weren't going to connect it to the general DCU, if it was going to be a standalone, that would be a really interesting role for him.
I got you.
If it's going to connect to the rest of the, like he could play any Batman, that's fine. I actually like him quite a bit in that big tough guy kind of a role.
Yeah.
He like we had Ben Affleck as like a super like big Batman, and he still moved very ridiculously, like
Right.
unrealistically, but also super fun to watch.
Right. Nowhere near as
I'm
big
pretty
as
okay
Alan
with
Ritchson,
him.
but he was big.
No, but he was still pretty barrel chest compared to Keaton or Pattinson or any
yeah.
other guys.
Definitely. And kind of just lumbered over. I think he's quite a bit taller than Michael Keaton is.
Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah, I would assume so. So I'm totally on board with that. I am curious to see the Batman 2 because I did like Robert Pattinson's that universe, but also if it's not going to connect to anything and they're going to have a like it's weird that they're going to have two Batmans running at the same time, like one that is
Yeah.
DCU connected and one that is not. I mean, a part of me is like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll take as many Batmans as I can get as long as they're good. But also,
Right.
it's going to get confusing, and that's going to be like the main talking point of like,
Oh,
why
yeah,
are there two
definitely.
Batmans? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? And it's just, what do you do?
Right. In my opinion, I didn't like Pattinson's version of the Batman. I just
No?
didn't like it. I felt like I
Like
wanted
the
to call
movie or like his role?
the movie. I wasn't fond of the movie. I don't like the way don't like I wasn't fond of the Batman that he was playing. I felt like for the entire movie, I wanted to have the suicide hotline on speed dial.
Okay.
You know, watching it, I really, I mean, I was afraid if when he had a knife in his hands or if he was just going to take the toaster in the bathroom with him. Just, you know, he just seemed like, woe is me. I'm just going to leap off this cliff and forget to shoot my grappling gun type
Yeah.
Batman. And I wasn't fond of it, but I think I would rather see Penguin, Joker, Clayface in Robert Pattinson's standalone Batman than I would see Alan Ritchson. I think Alan Ritchson would be better with Steppenwolf, with like an intergalactic Justice League type threat, where the modern run-of-the-mill psycho that's murdering everybody in the city. I think the Suicide Batman can handle that one.
I like the Robert Pattinson movie because he was dealing with a serial killer. I don't necessarily need him to deal with Mr. Freeze. I feel like that would be weird. But I also like this pattern that we get where like every 5 to 7 years we get a grittier, darker, more realistic Batman. I feel like we kind of need to turn the wheel on that one and get back to like, no, this is a comic book character. He fights silly, goofy creatures. Let's go back to that a little bit. Let's have some more fun with it. I'm not saying we want bat nipples and bat credit cards and all that crap, but like there's got to be a healthy in between. Like I feel like Batman Begins did a really good job of towing that line where you still had like a somewhat realistic Batman, but he was also taking on like the Gotham that he was in felt like its own thing. Whereas Dark Knight, it was like, oh, he's in Chicago.
Right.
Like that just looks like Chicago to me. That does not look like a Gotham or this fictional area or city.
Yeah.
So if we see Alan Ritchson, I would kind of love it if we went back a little bit and was like, no, let's make a comic book movie again.
Yeah, I think he would fit a lot better in a comic book. You know, he's Alan was good in Titan series. Yeah, he really was. Suicide Squad. Big screen adaptation of Batman Beyond. I don't think I watched a whole lot of that. I was getting a little bit older when Batman Beyond came up, so I didn't watch Beyond. But,
I didn't see a ton of Batman Beyond, but I'm on board with Kenny Matthew. I would love to see that. And if we didn't get him in The Flash, I would love to have Michael Keaton come back for that. But now that we've gotten Michael Keaton having him come back, it's kind of like they kind of soured it on that. But if they'd waited and done that with Michael Keaton as an older Batman, and having got a young kid doing that, I think that would have been amazing, or could have been amazing.
I think it could still be fantastic. But again, I mean, 89 Batman will always be my favorite Batman just for that, because Gotham seemed like its own thing. He was dealing with a comic book-esque character in the Joker and all of his minions, you know, and everything. And Michael Keaton seemed to be half psycho himself. So he'll always be my Batman. Everything else will be like a second tier to me.
I like a lot of the Batman movies, to be perfectly honest, but 89 was my introduction. I don't want to say introduction to the character. That's not quite accurate. It felt like it was my Batman for a long time. You know what I mean? Like I'd seen Super Friends and stuff like that, and the Adam West TV show, which I never cared for. But like Michael Keaton's like Batman 89 was the first time I was like, oh, okay, now I'm paying attention.
Yep, exactly. I'm the same way. You know, they started to bring in Val Kilmer and George Clooney and all that, and I just was not about that. I didn't even like it when they brought in Robin. I didn't like it. I liked Michael Keaton's Batman. You know, and
in fairness, I only like 89. I don't like Batman Returns very much.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that as well.
But 89 is a great film.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's something that I'll watch over and over. I introduce my grandkids to it, and they absolutely love it. Christian Bale did a very solid job, but it was just different. It's different. It's not always different. Isn't always worse. It's not always better. It's just different is different.
I like Batman Begins a lot as a Batman movie, and I like Heath Ledger's performance in. No, I do like Dark Knight a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that movie is carried heavily by Heath Ledger's performance. It doesn't feel like a Batman movie. Like it feels like a crime thriller that happens to have Batman in it.
Right. Yeah.
As opposed to a Batman film.
Yeah. See, and I mean, I have the hot take that I don't think Heath Ledger's performance was all that. I really don't. I mean, I think
That's
honestly,
I thought my take was hot. Okay.
I think Jack Nicholson made a better convincing Psycho to me than Heath Ledger did. I think Heath Ledger just, don't get me wrong, I don't think his performance was bad. I just don't think it was Oscar worthy, or giving him that posthumous award or anything. I just don't think it was. Nothing special that stood out to me.
I will disagree with you on that. I think the performance was pretty phenomenal. Now, I think Jack Nicholson, how do I word this? Jack Nicholson did a better Joker, or a better comic book Joker, whereas Heath Ledger took the character in a completely different direction, but I still really enjoyed the character that he portrayed. It just wasn't my Joker.
Yeah.
But I think he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he did a good job. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's a lot of actors that do really good job of their characters. They don't get awards from it. They don't get, well, this is the most fantastic role he's ever been in, and I really think Matt Damon did just as good in his role in Interstellar as, even if it was a little kind of bit part that Heath Ledger did in his portrayal of Joker. I think Joaquin Phoenix did as good, if not a little bit better, than Heath Ledger did in his portrayal. So, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from
I'll argue that all day. You think Joaquin Phoenix Joker is as good as Heath Ledger's Joker?
No, I think his performance was just as good. He didn't flub any lines. Nothing seemed he seemed like he was invested all in. Did I feel like it was a weaker, wimpier Joker? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think that Joaquin Phoenix was convincing in playing that character that he was set out to play, just like Heath Ledger was convincing playing that character that he was set out to play. Nothing, I guess, special about it.
For me, Heath Ledger's performance is far more watchable than Joaquin Phoenix. Like, and that's writing, that's the script, that's the movie. Like, they're totally different. Everything's like, other than the name Joker, they're very, very different things. I've never had a desire to go back and watch Joker. I've watched Dark Knight many, many, many times.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any desire to go back and watch Joker, but I felt like he was a very troubled, sheltered, cowardly man that was working through mental issues and stuff as the Joker, and then he just went over to the dark side and let his mental issues win. So he played very convincingly the character that he set out to play. So I appreciated it. And that's what I look at. Fair. And Heath Ledger, he accepted the whole thing. With his Joker, he was already given into the dark side. He was already doing the crimes and stuff. So he wasn't wrestling with anything. He was just all in and all about it. And he was convincing doing that. I just don't think he deserved an award for it, to be honest with you.
And honestly, like, who knows if he would have won if he hadn't passed away, right? Like,
that's true.
It's the tough situation there where, like, okay, did he get it because, or did he get it because he deserved it? It's hard to say because I don't remember what else was up for an Oscar that year, but I definitely think his performance was phenomenal. So I don't have an issue with the fact that he won it posthumously.
Yeah. I can't remember what was up there either.
Yeah. Anyways, it is getting late on my end. Are you going to be doing some pal worlding, or are you?
I think I think I am going to call it and try to be on in the morning, because it's kind of late at night, and my back and butt are still yelling at me for being on for 7.5 hours yesterday. So Jesus. I need to take it. Yeah.
I only stuck around for a little bit of it just because I had some other stuff going on, but like it seemed pretty active in there. You seem to be having a good time. So I'm very curious to give that game a shot now that I see everybody playing it.
I am definitely into Pal World. I want to be playing it. I was wanting to play it all day long. And this, to me, this feels like it can be, if I can find the time, a daily game like Marvel Strike Force was a daily game. It's something that has so much content and so many things you can do that you can play it for hours a day and not get tired of it.
Okay. Very cool.
So I'm going to try.
All right. If there's somebody in my chat who wants to give a shout out to Mr. Bubba Hotep, make sure you go over there and give him a follow if you enjoyed any amount of this content. If you got any game ideas for us, drop them in the Discord. We'd love to get some more stuff going on. If you're enjoying this show and you want to see more or less of it, or you want got any ideas for topics or things we want us to cover on, love to hear from you guys. !mark Discord in my chat. We'll get you over to the Coalition where both of us reside. Easy to find us, easy to get a hold of us. Bubba's live. Do you have a schedule? I know you're live Wednesday nights and kind of when you can after that.
Wednesday, Saturdays is when I'm on. All the rest of the times I try to pop on when I can.
Gotcha. Wednesdays and Saturdays for Mr. Hotep, and I'm live, generally speaking, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings. You guys all have been awesome. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week.
We appreciate you guys.
You're not being live, so I'm not going to raid to you.
Yeah, no, I'm going out. We are ending YouTube right now. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate you greatly. We will see you once again for Backseat Cinema Thursday, about 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a great day.